Hey, Wrestle fans. You're listening to the Wednesday Night War podcast, episode 73. Shaq, Onita, and JJ Dillon. What's up, Warheads? Wednesday Night War podcast, episode 73. I'm DJ. I'm here with Brett. Brett Miles, how are you, pal?
Do you want to give out my social, my address?
Are you saying that your last name is equivalent to giving out your social security number?
I mean, practically.
Okay.
That's the way these things work in life.
Okay.
At my my place of employment,
Okay.
they've been kind of cracking down a little bit. They're like, with whatever. They just say, don't give out zip codes. I'm like, it's a fucking zip code.
Okay.
Like, what are we doing here?
Don't give out zip codes for what?
Like if somebody's looking for something and you're like, oh, I'll search around your area. I can't be like, hey, this is your zip code, right? What?
Weird.
Yeah, it's weird.
That's
shit.
interesting. Times are getting tight at the FBI, I guess, for them to say you stop giving out those things. Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Well, thank God, because Brett Miles isn't my real name.
My employer is doing something similar, only instead of not giving out zip codes, they're giving out COVID. Wait, does anybody I know that I work with listen to this? No, I don't talk about wrestling at work.
What the fuck?
But anyway, I work from home, so well, I don't know. I hope everybody's okay. All right, how are you, pal?
That's a loaded question.
It is a loaded question. You've had a busy and dangerous week, which the details we won't get into.
No, we will not.
But everybody's fine for the most part.
Yeah.
And but you've been a busy boy.
I've been a busy boy.
So did you finish? Or we talked about this off air, but did you finish both shows this week? You didn't.
I did.
Oh, okay, you did. Okay.
So, and we'll talk about it during it,
Yeah.
but the second show that I watched, was it a chore as the show went on.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
God damn it.
That could be any show. I don't know what show you're talking about.
I literally just told you this.
I know, and I don't pay attention when you talk.
You're a piece of shit.
It's true.
I don't mean that. You're not.
It's fine.
You're a good egg. I appreciate you.
All right. So we don't really have news unrelated to the show. Jim Crockett died. Rest in peace, Jim Crockett.
Crockett Cup.
Do I have a promoter that I feel is more special to me? I don't know. Jim
Paul
Crockett.
Heyman.
Well, maybe. I guess so. Paul Heyman as good a booker as Jim Crockett stuff. What promoter as Jim Crockett was?
I mean, that's debatable.
It's debatable.
But Paul
How many? I wonder on how many people Jim Crockett owed money on his deathbed, because Paul Heyman's going to have a lot of people lined up.
Dude,
if Tommy Dreamer doesn't kill him.
I was just about to say, man, I always go back to that story where Dreamer wanted to jump the barricade and fucking shoot Paul Heyman at WrestleMania.
Right.
Not storyline. He's like, no, I wanted to legit kill him.
Not shoot on him.
No, I wanted to shoot him with a gun.
With a gun. Yeah, this man now wrestles in the main event Impact. Anyway, is Paul still WWE employed? Oh yeah, he's with Roman.
Yeah,
he's with Roman. I don't watch that product, the main stuff. Because I asked that because we were talking about Lesnar earlier and how he's not, and
Brocky boy,
old Bork Laser. Yeah. So that's really it. But man, Jim Crockett, he's got some good wrestling with his name on it.
Yeah, I mean,
so
people refer to that era as Crockett era, right? You know, and
right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Honestly, I'm not going to sit here and be like, "Oh, Jim Crockett." I don't fucking know. I know it was just Crockett Promotions. That's all.
Right.
Territories, brother. I don't fucking know.
Yeah. Let's see. Hold on. I'm going to look it up real quick.
Okay.
Crockett Jr. wrestling promoter from 73 to 89.
So he stopped being a promoter when I was born.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, I still like wrestling pre-1990, even though I was born in 89.
Right. He retired in 94. He took over. Yeah. He brought in George Scott as head booker, and he signed Wahoo McDaniels and Ric Flair. So he was elected first term as NWA president in 82. Second term, he bought Vince McMahon's Saturday Night TV time slot on the Superstation.
Well, wasn't that when Vince did that to him?
It says
it was called Black Saturday or some shit. You ever hear about that?
No, I have no idea.
Okay.
But it says here, Crockett was elected a second term of NWA president in 85. He bought Vince McMahon's Saturday Night TV spot. That's when he did the Crockett Senior Memorial Cup.
Because I know there's a story where Vince bought like a Saturday time slot on TBS, and the fans were like outraged over it because they wanted their NWA guys.
In 87, he bought out Championship Wrestling from Florida and the UWF. That was where he got Sting and Jim Ross.
Okay.
Let's see.
Not my UWF.
No. Let's see.
Herb Abrams forever.
And then in 88, November 88, he sells it to Ted Turner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Jim Barnett is promoter.
Some of that era of wrestling is fucking outstanding.
He remained NWA president until 91. So,
okay.
Late 70s to, we'll say 91. There might be some good wrestling in there.
That's a good
Adam Van will never see any of it, but there's some good wrestling in there.
It's a good run, kid.
It's a good run. So rest in peace. I know it doesn't have anything to do with this show.
No, but it's wrestling, man.
But if you're watching prime Dusty Rhodes or prime Ric Flair, chances are you're going to see Crockett before it, or during it, or after it, or whatever.
I thought prime Ric Flair was TNA Ric Flair.
Yes.
Yo, I watched that promo battle with him and Jay Lethal. Have you ever seen that from TNA?
Is it when Lethal does the impression?
It's still amazing. Yeah. Like, I love it so much. And you can see Flair like fucking
was
cracking.
Lethal Black Machismo at that point? Or
no, I don't think he was. But, dude, like, I love that promo so much. It's so fucking good.
Yeah. Watched a lot of weird stuff because you said that and I was like, I watched an SAT match this week. Why? And I was like, oh, yeah, Pain Pigs.
Yeah, dude, Pain Pigs is the coolest.
Anyway, no news related that we won't talk about while we run through the shows. So I guess we're not going to do any news segment, right?
Nah.
Okay. There's news, but we'll talk about it when it comes up in the shows. Let's start off, I guess, AWA Women's Tournament. Is that what we're doing?
The AWA Women's Tournament?
AWA Women's Tournament.
Yeah, all right.
Uh-huh.
Well,
Laverne Gagne.
The fucking, what the hell? No. Who are the Jumping Bomb Angels? Who did they wrestle at Rumble 89?
My brain doesn't work like that.
All right. I don't know. It was just like one old white woman and another old white woman. Okay, that's all I remember. They both had perms.
I'm sure they had names. How respectful of you.
I want to say one of them was named Judy.
Judy Bagwell. Is it jumping? It was Judy.
It's weird because my mind went Judy Dench, but I'm like, no, that's definitely wrong.
Okay.
Then I almost said Judy Garland, but no, that's also wrong. Mm-hmm. So I'm a fool.
The Glamour Girls?
That's it. There we are. Was one of them named Judy?
I don't know. We're going to figure this out, though.
Oh, come on, baby.
What an interesting podcast this is.
I mean, I think it is. This is fun. Fun for me.
The Glamour Girls. Judy Martin.
See, I was fucking there.
And Leilani Kai.
Leilani Kai was in the Glamour Girls?
Apparently so.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, those are the two members, Leilani Kai. Yeah.
I find that hard to believe for some reason.
It's on Wikipedia, so it must be true.
Well, you know what? You're not wrong about that. Was it the 88 Rumble that was the first one?
I don't know.
Or was there...
Hold on.
Okay, hold on. Yeah, hold the fucking phone.
Yeah, the 88 Rumble. Glamour Girls versus the Jumping Bomb Angels.
Okay, good. Yeah,
but
yes.
I don't know who... Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it was... All right, Leilani Kai. All right, well... A stunning 2 out of 3 falls match for the WWF Women's Tag Team titles that went 15 minutes.
Yeah. Leilani Kai's real name, Patty Seymour.
Dude, I love that the first Rumble, the Rumble wasn't even the main event. The main event was the Islanders versus the fucking Young Stallions.
Right. Yeah. Because that Rumble match ain't going to last. It's got no future, kid.
Oh, man.
I don't know if you listen to Long Box Heroes After Dark, our fellow Soon Be Named Network podcast, but they do the 6 movies people haven't seen.
Yes.
And they did Highlander like a week or two
ago.
Yes,
I did listen.
And to the joy in Joe's voice talking about the wrestling match at the Garden at the beginning of that, and Todd's disgust of talking about the wrestling match at the Garden and how it was supposed to be hockey, but it didn't work out, so they had to do wrestling. Fantastic. Really great stuff.
That was a fun episode.
And Highlander being occasional guest of the show, Michelle, my wife, it's her favorite movie, and she hates wrestling, so I always love to remind her that her favorite movie opens with professional wrestling.
Wrestling, goddammit.
Right. But anyway,
let's move on to the AWA Women's Tournament.
AEW Women's Tournament. Semifinals and through the finals, semifinals, semifinals, bracket side.
Well, I don't know. It depends on what day you watched and what episode you watched. And shit was all over the place.
Right, because it was on Bleacher Report.
Yeah.
And Tony Khan got mad because they fucked it up.
Yeah.
So they put it up on YouTube, thankfully, because I didn't remember to watch it on Sunday.
Well, I was like, there's no way I'm watching this on Bleacher Report.
Right.
So I was like, I'll just figure out a way, other means.
What an odd decision not to put it up on YouTube anyway.
Yeah, well, so it was funny. Like I was doing so Saturday, I got my second COVID vaccine.
Yeah,
I'm good to go. Sunday, I was laid up all day, pretty much with a fucking headache. But I don't even remember what I was watching, and I know like it was around 7:00 at night. They said that they were putting it up. And I was watching something on YouTube, and I went back to the main page, and it was just like, oh, like the match is premiering live. I'm like, wait a minute, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
So I went on Twitter, and I saw Tony say, like, hey, BR Live was supposed to have these for international viewers. I guess international viewers couldn't watch it. He goes, they were like said they were going to do it. So you know what? Fuck it. They didn't. I put the matches up on YouTube.
There you go.
So I waited till it was done, and then I watched them.
Okay. So I watched them all, like, Tuesday night.
Okay.
Yeah, I did. I watched them all Tuesday, and then I also suffered through a little bit of dark, like a fool.
You're quite the martyr.
I do it all for the praise and adoration of our listeners.
It all for the nookie.
Speaking of our listeners, before we get into this, actually, I keep pushing this back. But if you're listening to us by way of Barstool Sports...
Jesus fucking Christ.
Welcome aboard.
I thought you were going to save that for later.
Welcome aboard. Everyone, I'll get into it later, but I just if you found us through that Bobby Eaton looking dummy, hi, welcome. Chances are you're not going to like us if you like Barstool, but you never know.
We'll talk more about that.
You never know. But all right, AEW Women's Tournament opens up with a 6-person tag team match.
I don't have notes on it.
Why the hell not?
Well, because, like, I don't know. I was just like, matches don't really matter here.
Okay. That's, wow.
But I know the one team was Shida. What's Magura? Was that her?
May Saruga.
Okay, Saruga. Whatever. I combined the two. I don't remember who their tag team partner was. Do you have it written down?
Rin Katakura. Yes, I do.
Then why aren't you doing it?
Because I'd like to see you sweat.
I don't like sweating. You know that?
It was Hikaru Shida, Mai Saruga, and Rin Katakura versus Emi Sakura, Veni,
and Maki Ito. I know that much.
Which is why when you said this didn't matter, I was upset with you because Maki Ito matters.
Well, Maki Ito's the coolest. And when she came out and Taz was doing her theme song, was just reaffirms that Taz is the best in the fucking world.
Right. So I don't have any notes on this because it went a half an hour.
Dude, it was so long,
and
right?
it was fine, and everybody plays a really good part, and I like a lot of the wrestlers in it.
Yeah.
And they're very talented wrestlers, but I was like, okay.
Let's
move this on a little. These are supposed to be quick sprints where everybody gets their shit in.
I'm so happy that like I wasn't the only one because like when I checked the time when it was done, I went, okay, this is already half over.
Right.
Why was this fucking long?
Japanese wrestling tradition, the 6-man or 6-woman, 6-person tag match or more. If you watch any of the big events, they'll lead off with these
hot openers.
It's hot openers. They're supposed to be quick. Everybody gets
story
their shit
lines,
in.
builds them up.
Right. You work the feuds that are working later on. They do it the G1 all the time. There'll be G1 matches, 3, 4 at the end of the card. The card opens up with 2 multi-person tag matches.
To develop and set up the next day.
And you set up the next day of singles matches by the people who are going to have those singles matches interact in these tag matches. Yeah. It works really well. They're high energy, big spots. Sometimes they can be goofier, all that kind of stuff. This was fine, but there's nothing really to play off there, so they were just doing their stuff. But it is 6 very talented people. Shida wins because she's the champ.
Of course, champ always got to win.
So Maki Ito unfortunately loses again. Got a little bit in over her head in this one. But she put on Twitter she dreams of being AEW. That's her goal. So.
Yeah, I mean, if AEW's smart, with the way things are kind of looking, who knows? Hopefully things start, going back to normal, and they can bring Maki Ito over, and she becomes a goddamn megastar in the States. So this was the Japanese final?
Yes,
correct?
So I have a big problem with this.
Okay. Dooge's Red Corner.
You want me to pause and we can... fit it in there. Let me write down the timestamp, and then I'll delete all of this later.
I mean, it fits, right?
Yeah. So here's my problem: is that the women's tournaments, the women's matches for the U.S. side, they decided not to have on Dynamite because why do they give a shit about them? Why should they? Why would they? Who cares?
The whole like layout of when matches were was real odd.
They announced this thing like it was a big deal, and then immediately decided it wasn't a big deal and just shuffled everything off to YouTube on a new night. But so we get this next match, which is Yuka Sakazaki. I missed a syllable there, and I knew it was wrong. Versus Ryo Mizunami. That's the finals of the women's Japanese bracket. Who's going to wrestle each other for the title, for the attempt at the title.
She reminds me of like a female Okada.
Right. So my problem with this is the next match on this show, and this was the whole show because the U.S. finals came later.
Yeah. U.S. finals were the next night.
The main event of this show was Riho versus Thunder Rosa, which is the U.S. semifinals.
Yeah.
Why in the hell is the finals match not the main event? That's what matters.
Yeah, I don't.
That's what matters more. And to me, it's AEW once again saying, "Hey, we don't really care about this Japanese side of the bracket. It's not as important as the semi-main event of the U.S. bracket."
My whole thing with it is just like, yo, guys, this is all taped.
Right.
Like, does nobody know just how like the format, like how it runs?
It should
like,
be.
Come on, guys. Like I understand. Listen, it's just a fucking YouTube show. I get it, but like,
and there's exemptions from the rule because Dynamite this week was booked very weird. But usually the most important match should be on last, and the most important match out of these three is a finals match. And honestly, for me, what brought me to the show here? I didn't take the time out of my day to watch Ryo versus Thunder Rosa. I like Ryo Mizunami. I like Yuka. So I wanted to see them work. I wanted to see
it's a finals match.
Straight Joshi crazy action, and that bothered the shit out of me. I was hot about it. I was heated in my own home for no reason.
A little hot under the collar.
That being said, very good match. Ryo Mizunami wins.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. I was surprised by it.
Were you? That's who I wanted to win. I like Yuka, but I wanted Mizunami tougher, a little bit of a shit kicker.
Yeah, I was just, I don't know. I felt kind of surprised because, like, I don't know. She's had like a few AEW matches.
Well, and Mizunami was on their like first show.
Yeah, I know like Yuka though. She was
right.
I feel like she has a bigger like personality.
She has a more appealing personality. We talked about it an episode ago or a few episodes ago.
Yeah,
where Joshi wrestling is short of you're a shit kicker or you're a super magical girl.
Yeah, and
like Yuka is the super magical girl. And Mizunami's the shit kicker.
Yeah.
And I'll always pick the shit kicker. But I like Yuka a lot. If I had to pick from the start of this tournament, if I had to pick anybody to win it, it was going to be Maki Ito.
Absolutely.
After the first round, it would be Asha Kong.
Yes.
But I know that just physically. So Ryo was my pick. But yeah, I see what you're saying. A little surprising because Yuka does have a little more exposure in the U.S.
Yeah.
In AEW specifically. But I thought it was a good match. It was what I wanted. None of these have been, well, I guess I don't want to say not spectacular. I think the earlier rounds were a little better.
I thought Yuka
good.
and Emi Sakura. That match was fucking
very good.
Nuts.
Right. I think Emi is probably the best wrestler out of the group in this tournament.
Yeah.
But I like this match. It was good. I'm excited for Ryo to move to the finals. And then we get the American semifinals, which is Riho, which doesn't make sense, but okay, I guess because she's signed to AEW.
Sure.
Versus Thunder Rosa. This already horribly mishandled because it should have been Britt.
Yep.
That's what makes the most sense because that's what they've been teasing
Thunder Rosa
to.
in the finals on the U.S. side.
Exactly. Because that's the feud, and you want to work a tournament to pay. It's hackneyed and cliched, but you work a tournament to climax at the feud. Well, that's what happens.
It's like kills two birds with one stone because you have the match and you blow off the tournament there.
Exactly.
Perfect.
Exactly.
Come on,
guys. Thunder Rosa wins. This match was fine.
It was okay.
It was okay. Thunder Rosa moving on to the finals, which is then so this 3-match card was the Sunday night.
That was Sunday night, and then
Monday.
Yeah, Monday was the U.S. side of the bracket finals.
Yes, with some other matches that I didn't watch.
Dude, if you thought I was going to watch a fucking... who was the first? Leva Bates? I was like...
Yeah, I know Layla Hirsch wrestled,
dog.
and I almost stopped to watch Layla Hirsch because I do like her. I would have stopped if they put her in Team Taz, but they have not, I'm not going to. But I did watch the U.S. finals of Thunder Rosa versus Nyla Rose.
Yes.
And my only comment on this match is not my choice. Nyla Rose wins. We both like Nyla. We were both supportive of Nyla in the very beginning. AEW killed her. AEW killed any momentum she's ever had, then brought it back a little bit, then killed it again. And this is them sort of trying to salvage it, and it's just not working. But Nyla wins. She's gonna move on from here to Dynamite to face Rio.
No.
Mizunami. No.
Oh no, Ryo Mizunami. I thought we were talking about Rio.
Right, Ryu. I don't. They pronounce it the same. So I don't know. But anyway, Mizunami. So that's what happens there. Not my choice. Out of those two, I feeling a little more into Thunder Rosa.
Yeah.
But also that doesn't make sense because Britt's not there. But they could have. But even if they moved on with Thunder Rosa here, they could have made to the finals, got Britt involved in that, and furthered that even more, and made a hell of a hot pay-per-view match.
Yep.
But they're not doing that because that means they'd have to commit to 2 women's matches in a night. So. Yeah, and we'll talk about the finals
when we talk about
Dynamite.
But we're not going to start talking about Dynamite yet.
We aren't.
Because you
are
still a glutton for punishment, my good sir.
The
rallying cry of I'm gonna watch Dark.
Right.
And
Let me just say. So I didn't grow up. I don't want this to sound. I'm not saying
you didn't grow up, your child.
I'm not saying this to be sad. I'm not saying this for pity.
Geez.
I'm just saying
I can't take another thing.
I didn't grow up with the best self-esteem, and I think that's manifesting itself in my adulthood as my, for whatever reason, pull and need to watch AEW Dark.
I just wanted to start singing that Offspring song, but I'm not going to subject
I don't know.
it.
Pretty Fly for a White Guy? I don't understand.
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay, thank you.
Piece of shit. No, that's not an Offspring song. That band stopped after Ixnay, let's be honest.
I'm so confused. I don't understand. I honestly don't know what
you said self-esteem.
Self-esteem. I guess that makes
come
sense.
on,
I was like,
you
are you going to
fucker.
call me a stupid, dumb shit, goddamn motherfucker? I'm so confused.
God damn you.
Smash is still a really good record.
Smash is great.
It's such a good
So
record.
is Ixnay.
Yeah, Ixnay's pretty good. Like, Ixnay's fun and good. But Smash is
Come on, man. That's how
record.
they go, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was on like a Tony Hawk soundtrack or something, wasn't it?
I thought it was on Crazy Taxi.
Oh, yeah, I guess it is on Crazy Taxi, which I think they just remastered and put on iOS, but that's not what this podcast is about at all. Yeah, Taxi.
Fuck you.
So I watched some matches on AEW Dark. I know that you did not.
No.
Okay. Listen, spoiler alert, this is going to be over real quick. The first match I watched was Lee Johnson and Aaron Solo of the Nightmare Family? Nightmare Academy? I don't know what Cody's calling his underlings.
Nightmare Collective, the Nightmare
versus Peaks and Valley.
Brotherhood.
I stopped because it was the Batteria and I want to support those guys and I love those guys. But they got even less to do in this match against Cody's boys. So that was disappointing. Then I watched Abaddon versus Renee Michelle because I hadn't seen Abaddon in a while.
I don't know that name.
Renee Michelle looks very familiar to me, but I don't know who she is, and I've never bothered to
She
look
was
it up.
she's Drake Maverick's wife. When they were running that angle on WWE a while ago where he was like trying to beat R-Truth for the 24/7 title and R-Truth pinned him at their wedding.
Is that her?
Yeah. That's her.
This lady?
Yeah.
Whose wife?
Drake Maverick.
Oh, good for him. Good for him.
Yeah.
All right.
Overachiever, brother.
So that match was meh. Nothing to talk about there. But I wanted to see Abaddon, and I was disappointed. Third match I watched was Steven Stetson.
What the fuck?
Versus Orange Cassidy.
Steven Stetson.
He wears a cowboy hat. That is, he claims is an original Stetson. He tries not to take it off while he wrestles, and he's like a hoss kind of cowboy gimmick. I don't want to say this was good, but OC was good. And because it's against the guy whose gimmick is a cowboy hat, OC got to be real goofy. with everything.
Oh, you know what? That explains it.
Put the hat on himself.
Yeah, I saw a picture of him wearing a cowboy hat, and I'm like, what the fuck is going
did a move,
on?
Took the guy's hat off, put it on. The guy charged him. Like, they did all that stuff.
Okay.
So the best thing about this match, and Orange Cassidy, I love you, he botches the kip up.
Aww.
So then he does
he was just tired.
He does the 10 in a row, almost, and gets up, and the crowd pops real huge. So it's fun. He was real goofy. It was a much older kind of OC match as opposed to this, TNT, which is still great. But he was able to just be goofy completely and have a fun little match. And then the last match I watched was
you watched a lot.
I watched 4 matches.
Holy shit!
I watched Chucky T versus VSK.
Okay.
The Voodoo Skin Mafia. I don't know.
That'd be VSM, but all right. That's
close enough.
Voodoo Skin Click.
Yes,
Come on.
the Voodoo Skin Click.
VSK, he's one of Myers' trainees.
Okay. I just stopped because I wanted to see Chucky T.
Yeah. Did he hit the Awful Waffle?
Chucky T's super talented. I don't remember. No. I think he won with a pile driver.
Okay.
I don't think I saw the Awful Waffle.
It wasn't the Awful Waffle. That makes me sad.
But anyway, I like Chucky T. I wanted to support him. Anything I could see him removed from this Miro nonsense, I'll stop and watch. And then I watched. No, I didn't watch anything else on Dark.
What, you maniac?
I then fast forwarded through the rest of the Dark, and I think the main event was SCU, and I was like, oh, good, I can finally stop.
Hey, remember when that was a storyline?
SCU?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think now we'll probably talk about maybe, but I think now they're Prime and Scorpio Sky to be solo again.
They've been doing that for a while.
Right, but he's really propping himself up for this ladder match we're going to talk about that's coming up, and saying muscles don't win. His tagline is muscles don't win matches, I win matches.
No, the Muscle Shark wins matches.
That's true. The Muscle Shark, Sean Shark, does win match. Does he though? I don't know that he does.
I can't remember. Was Sean Shark ever a UFC champ?
I hope so, and I also hope not.
I just remember him getting
We're doing a lot of Googling on this week.
I just remember him getting flying kneed by BJ Penn once, and it was fucking sick.
How do you spell Shirk?
SHERK.
Oh, okay.
He was former UFC lightweight champ.
Oh, good for him.
So, good for the Muscle Shark.
God, there is no more appropriate name for a person that is built like Sean Shirk than the Muscle Shark, man. Because he looks like
it's the greatest nickname of all of sports.
He looks part human, but he also
part shark.
He looks part street shark.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he?
He does. Like this picture here, he looks like a street shark. Yeah.
I don't know. He gets a whiff of blood and he turns into a street shark.
He's the Muscle Shark, Sean Shirk. There's only one MMA fighter nickname that's better than the Muscle Shark, Sean Shirk.
What's that?
The New York Baloney. Phil Baroni. It's the only one that's
honorary
better.
member of Suzuki Goon.
That's right.
Phil the Baloney.
Permanent resident of the White Eagle Hall.
God, dude, if I could pay anything to go back to that day,
right?
Oh, what a day!
If I could pay anything to go back to that day, I would totally get a gimmick picture with the New York Baloney, Phil Baroni, before he got so loaded.
Yeah.
And asked to leave the White Eagle Hall 9 times.
I would have got a picture with him after he got loaded.
Oh, God.
And also, I'd go back to that ramen place.
I would yell louder so that he would actually fight me like I wanted him to, but he couldn't hear me.
Yo, it's funny.
I still talk about that ramen place, though. That was real
good.
Dude, I don't remember what it was called.
I have one of those live pictures on my phone of of Suzuki, I think it is, and you just hear you yelling. I hold it in and all I hear is, "Hey, Baroni, you piece of shit."
I was really trying. I wanted him to hear me. He was so drunk that I wanted him to hear me from the balcony and come charging up.
Remember him yelling, I think it was Mir, Amba!
Amba! Yeah, right, Yep. Get wrist control, Frank. I honestly, I would get the shit kicked out of me. But I wanted Phil Baroni to fight me in the worst way. I'd have a reasonable chance of how loaded he was. And I'm taller than him, so I can probably do the head on the top of his hand thing and it'd just be swinging wildly at me because he'd be so drunk. But eventually he would literally kill me.
Yeah, he'd fucking murder you.
Because no matter how bad of a professional fighter he became,
he was still a professional
fighter, and I'm a professional nothing.
Yeah.
So I don't mean I'm a nothing. I mean I do nothing professionally. Essentially, yeah. I do art. Ooh, wow. So
what the fuck?
It's great, and I like my job, but it doesn't help me in a street fight. It's not going to help me beat up Phil Baroni.
Just offer to draw a picture of the person.
Yeah, don't punch me. Here's a flyer I designed. It doesn't quite work.
Just here, Phil. I will draw a picture of you, sir.
Right. I could draw him a map to the ambulance or to the hospital so he could get me there after he almost kills me. But anyway.
All right,
I'm glad there's audio of me calling Phil Baroni a piece of shit.
Yeah, it's great. Hey, Baroni, you piece of shit. All right.
You have to send that to me. That's hilarious.
Yeah. So, AEW.
All right, let's talk Dynamite. This is off the rails.
So, AEW Dynamite time.
Phil Baroni, if you're listening to this, I'll still fight you. You just got to come to my house.
What the
And you have to leave afterwards, unlike you did at the White Eagle Hall.
Jesus Christ.
But you can curse all you want.
No alcohol for you, sir. All right, so AEW Dynamite. So I'm going to tell a little backstory.
Backstory?
Last night, had my oldest nephew. Some little family stuff going on. Everything's okay, but had him. And he was like, hey, you normally watch wrestling on Wednesday nights, right? I said, yeah, he's 13 years old. And he goes, we could watch. I'm like, okay, cool. And normally I watch NXT first, but I was like, he's 13. What's probably going to appeal to him more? It's probably AEW.
Right.
So we start the show off with Cody Rhodes and Red Velvet going up against Shaq and Jade Cargill.
Shocker, because this should have been the main, but I get why it's not.
I totally get why it's the opener. So, like, Shaq comes out, and my nephew's immediately like, oh, shit, that's Shaq.
Yeah.
And he couldn't believe how tall Shaq really is. Like you said, Uncle Brett, he goes, Shaq's ass is on the top turnbuckle.
Right.
I was like, yeah, dude, it really is.
Yeah.
So this match ends up going.
Do you think? Do you think they'll? I mean, obviously they're going to lead to Big Show Shaq at some point. At least the confrontation in the ring.
We'll see.
Shaq's like legit, like 3 or 4 inches taller than Show, right?
I don't know, but Shaq's fucking huge.
Because Shaq's like 7'4", legit.
Is he that big? I know, like, Kristaps Porzingis is. Like, he's a legit 7'3", 7'4" guy.
Oh, Shaq's 7'1".
I say he's no Manute Bol.
No, or
Manute
Sean
Bol was
Bradley.
like,
How tall was Sean Bradley?
I don't know. I think, wasn't Manute Bol like 7'7"?
Yeah.
Dude, I watched a clip of him the other day hitting 6 3-pointers in a quarter against the Phoenix Suns.
Sean Bradley was 7'6".
Holy shit.
Yeah, and in Space Jam. So
well, that automatically gives him.
Where are you at,
brownie
Shaq?
points.
Oh, Shaq's an Uncle Drew. That counts.
Yeah, Shaq was also in, what was it, Blue Chips?
Blue Chips, yep.
That's a good
Kazam.
movie. Yeah. Was it Steel? Was that?
Oh my God!
Shaq Fu?
Wikipedia is telling me that the Big Show's only 6'11".
He's gonna look real tiny.
He was definitely. He's billed as 7'2". So listen, law of wrestling heights and averages. I bet you him and Shaq are probably right on the same level.
I'll tell you what though, neither of them are they're both bullshit compared to AJ Styles. That's
true. Tallest wrestler ever lived.
So Shaq.
I have the photographic proof evidence to show it.
So the match goes about 12 minutes.
Yeah.
Shaq and Jade Cargill get the win.
Not a shock.
Not a shock.
I mean, we all knew Red Velvet was put in this match as the replacement for Brandy, which obviously you needed.
Yeah.
But they picked Red Velvet because she can take the pin.
So I'll say this about the match. Coming into it, I couldn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
The build was whatever. I just didn't care.
Yeah.
Seeing Shaq in the ring made you realize like how much of a giant he actually is.
Right.
Especially compared to like a normal sized human being. You go, holy shit. Him chopping Cody was great.
Yeah.
Him powerbombing Cody and doing the Brody Lee tribute I thought was so cool.
Right.
That was real cool.
Yep.
Him like slamming them, like slamming Cody around. Dude, Shaq looked fucking good.
Listen, I'll say this about this match. Shaq was the best worker in it.
Easily. Like, no
Easily.
doubt.
And partially because Cody, say what about him, was feeding into Shaq, protecting him.
You have to.
But Shaq worked the hardest.
Shaq looked fun. Like, he was having fun.
I
wish he would have fucking murdered Austin Gunn when it... Dude, what was with that? Like, what was that spot? Why did Austin Gunn hit him with a chair? What did Shaq do to him?
Shaq's supposed to be the heel.
So what is all right. So yes. I'm gonna use your logic here.
You're gonna use my logic and Cody Rhodes' logic, and you know what we're gonna get? Nothing.
Well, I'm gonna use your logic.
It doesn't ever make sense.
Why is a guy who's supposed to be a face randomly just plastered him with a chair?
I agree.
So
I'm not saying why I would have him do it.
Okay.
I'm saying why Cody had him do it.
All right. I mean, it just doesn't make fucking sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
But when he absolutely clubbered him over the top rope or over the barricade, it was great. And then he murdered this other stupid kid.
Right.
Looked fun.
So, Shaq looked great. Obviously, the finish of the match, the thing that's getting
Dude, that
gift
table
over and
was,
over.
it was sick.
They set up the two tables.
Great.
They don't get used.
It was
Shaq
great.
takes a crossbody, standing on the apron, through the tables.
It was great.
Great bump.
Oh, it was awesome.
Camera stayed a little too long. We watched Shaq give him the Iggy, which then got called out on like NBA Tonight, NBA Live.
Oh, yeah, Ernie
NBA.
Johnson's like, hey, what was that?
Yeah.
What was that about, Shaq?
But that's fine because Nia Jax also was on camera while she was giving the Iggy this week too.
More on that later.
But so just a few things. And again, I like this match a lot.
Yeah,
I was not
fun.
Not expecting I was gonna like it because it's just such a big gimmick and how much of what they were gonna do. But Shaq did a lot.
Yeah.
The table bump is insane. That's a crazy bump for a normal human being to do.
Yeah, he doesn't need to be doing that.
So, a couple of things. Red Velvet did the moonsault to the outside, and they were not ready to catch her all the way.
Nobody is anymore.
So they ate boots hard on that.
Nobody
one.
catches anybody.
She was fine,
anymore.
but everybody took boots to the face.
Yeah.
This was clearly Jade Cargill's second match ever.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people are praising how good they were, and they were. I think the Red Velvet and Jade were good, but limited.
Red Velvet was fine. Jade, I mean, like you said, you
limited.
could tell it's like her second
It's
match.
her second
or whatever.
match. She's been trained for a while, but she didn't debut until her match she had in AEW.
Did she have a match?
Yeah,
I thought this was her first match.
Nah, the Wikipedia told me there was one that was before it.
I don't remember.
But whatever. Clearly, very early in her career, very limited. Her appeal is her look.
Was she greener than goose shit?
She's at minimum green as goose shit.
Okay.
But her appeal is her physique. She looks amazing. It's ridiculous looking. She is a human being that has probably as the lowest amount of body fat you can possibly get. So that's sort of the appeal. She's very tall. There's some lifts in those boots, but she was very tall. So in-ring ability, very limited, but fine. She did. They gave her a few things to do. You know, she did them fine for what she was doing. She clearly wasn't the event here. The finish was the pin was cool. It was fine. Shaq. My two favorite things in the whole match: Shaq standing at hard cam because early for the spot where he's going to go through the table, he's standing in the center of the ring. And, like, Bryce walked over and, like, moved him back. And that was hilarious to watch Bryce have to move Shaq. Because it wasn't quite there yet. And he's standing in front of the hard cam. You can literally see nothing in the ring.
No, I know.
The second thing is my second favorite thing is the worst spot of the match, which was Cody's bullshit body slam on Shaq.
Dude.
You had one thing to do, and you couldn't even body slam him right.
Like,
I know he's a big dude. I know he's heavy.
Like, was this supposed to be his like Hogan Andre moment?
Yeah, well, because
his Luger Yoko moment,
right? Because in Cody's book, when he writes it, it's going to talk about how he pulled every muscle in his back,
and how Shaq died 7 days later.
7 days later. It's just what it is.
Like, that's a thing that exists.
Yes.
Oh my god.
But I really tons of praise on Shaq. I never thought I'd say that, but he kind of carried that match. I mean, Cody played his part. Everybody has the part to play. I think everybody was good enough.
Yeah.
But Shaq really elevated this match.
Yeah, good for Shaq.
He's who you talk about.
It brought the spectacle.
Right.
Seeing a human being that big.
Right. And, you know, I thought he looked good. I thought he was a ton of fun. And this was apparently the first time AEW has beaten NXT in, like, the 50 and older demographic.
That's funny.
So Shaq bringing in the old fogies.
All the olds.
All the olds.
In.
But yeah, that's it. It was a ton of fun. And I mean, I don't want to spoil anything, but probably, I mean, honestly, genuinely the highlight of this wrestling show. Maybe not.
Not for me.
Okay. But I mean, a really great.
It was cool.
Big time moment.
It was
big
cool.
time moment. Lots of eyes were going to be on it.
Sure.
I don't know if they stick around and come back if the numbers are up.
We'll see.
But big time moment that they delivered on, and that's a hard thing to do in these celebrity matches.
Yeah.
So
we come back from commercial break. We see Shaq getting loaded into an ambulance.
Yes.
We go to the ambulance, and Tony's like, the ambulance is closed, and Tony's like, I gotta get a word. And he opens up the doors, and Shaq is gone because he's a genie.
Yeah, because it's good to talk to a guy who's who got loaded in an ambulance.
Yeah,
and the ambulance loaded him in and didn't leave.
Well, it was
like
funny
responsible
too, like,
ambulance
like
drivers.
when they loaded Shaq in, Shaq had to pull his knees up because he's so goddamn big.
Right.
Next match, we had Ray Phoenix and Pac going up against, I don't know, two guys.
John Schuyler and a guy they didn't bother to name.
Okay, that's good.
We've seen John Schuyler on Dark.
He was the dude who, like, tore his knee up a while ago, I remember. So
good for him
being
that he's
back.
back. Great. Squish.
This goes a minute.
Yeah, it's just complete
Pac
squisher.
and Phoenix just fucking murder them.
Myrtleized.
So my nephew was watching this still, and he was like enamored with Pac and Phoenix.
Yeah.
He was like, he's saying to me, he goes, these guys are cool. And I'm like, yes.
Got him.
Yes, I got
a
him.
lifetime of misery and hating the product.
Like, fuck yeah, I got him. Right. We got him, kid. Yeah, Pac and Phoenix rule. Yeah. And then out comes Chris.
It's a lifetime of explaining to women you meet in your older years going, yeah, I still watch professional wrestling.
Yeah. That's working out well for me. We have a fucking thing with Jericho and MJF. They're doing like a little press conference, right?
This was cringy as hell, but yeah.
Yeah, oh, God.
So it's a thing where they're taking questions for some reason, and they have the podium up outside, and they're asking about why they did the things they did to Papa Buck. Who cares? MJF cuts one of the worst promos ever that everybody probably thinks was really cool. He thought it was really cool, but like I don't know. I think it was a really bad promo by MJF. It was just nonsensical meandering, but like taglines and vulgarity that I just didn't understand. Well, and I got no problem with vulgarity. You just got to use it right, and he fucking didn't.
And like I said to my nephew when Conrad Thompson came up to talk, I said, MJF's going to call him turkey tits.
Yeah.
And he sure did.
Right.
And my nephew just looked at me like, what the hell? Like, why? And I'm like, it's a fat joke.
Yeah.
But yeah, how about you talk about your feud that you ignited?
Listen, I tried to ignite a feud and they backed out. But so you get Conrad come up.
Well, first you had another dude from Barstool, which Mike was cut off.
Right.
Then you had Conrad.
Conrad came up. I'm surprised Conrad didn't ask about mortgages.
Well, dude, somebody made such a good tweet, and even Conrad's like, this is the best tweet ever. They go, I'm surprised there wasn't an advertisement between Conrad's question and their answer.
And then we got Bischoff. Was he next?
He was the last one.
Oh, so the Bobby Eaton looking motherfucker was after Conrad. So I don't remember this dude's name still.
Brandon Walker.
Even though I've been staring at it all night because truth be told, so I tweeted this guy was on NXT for the pay-per-view, right? Yeah. He got made fun of by LA Knight on the pre-show of the takeover. Yeah. And then wasn't seen from again. But he did the little opening thing with like Sam Roberts or whatever. And I had commented to you that I thought he looked like Bobby Eaton. Yeah. Which is a compliment or an insult, depending on what side of the beautiful Bobby Eaton spectrum you happen to fall on.
Sure.
So I tweeted like that something along the lines of this Bobby Eaton looking dummy is jumping companies, and then all the hashtags. I didn't tag him. Still don't know his name. You told me, and I still don't remember it.
Brandon Walker.
There you go.
I wish it was Braden Walker.
Thanks for listening, pal. And so I just tweeted that. I didn't tweet him. I didn't @ Barstool. I didn't hashtag Barstool.
I think because you mentioned Barstool in the tweet.
Right, because I just said the guy from Barstool.
Yeah, because I'm sure Barstool. The dude vanity searches.
Right, vanity searched Barstool and AEW to see what came up.
Sure, of course.
So a few hours later, we get a little tweet response that says, your podcast has 170 followers. Which baffled me because I am aware of what our follower count is, and I like that we have 170 followers. Yeah. I love the people that follow the show and interact with us, but I'm also not offended by the fact that we don't have 10,000 followers.
Yeah, I don't know if that's supposed to be like an insult.
Right, I guess, but we say it all the time. We do this show because it's fun, because we like talking to each other about wrestling. We like interacting with the people who do. So if it's the 170 people we're at, then I hope 170 people like what we put up, and that's what that is. Yeah. I'm literally not hurt or offended. So I responded like, yeah, I'm aware of what my follower count is. I don't understand this is an insult, and that brought out the Barstool bros.
Well, I know you texted me and you're like, and I was like, yo, do what you want, just be prepared because I know how these dudes can get. Right. So
like I said to you earlier, I was a troll before the internet made it easy.
You've literally have been. I've seen people purposely not go places because you were there. Right. Because they knew that you were going to make fun of them.
Because I know how to press buttons. Yeah. I'm a ball buster. If I love you truly as a human, you will probably not get a break from me. If I don't like you, I probably just won't talk to you that much.
I've seen both ends of the spectrum.
So, like, that's just what it is. It's just, whatever it was that was created in me. If I'm breaking your balls, it's because I love you, and it's in my own childish way. It's how I show affection. So, I was like, I messaged you and I was like, can I push this? Like, are you all right with that? Should I push this? And you were like, yeah, whatever you want to do, but understand the kind of people that come back. And I was like, that's fine, because I want this now. Let's push it. So I responded, but I went really low-key with it because, like, again, I didn't tag this guy. I wasn't looking for this. I just called him a dummy, but I was making more of the joke of that, he joins the ranks of the Medusas and the Rick Rudes, sort of the one show to the next company, like that kind of thing, whatever. And I genuinely do think he looks like Bobby Eaton. But so the post got like 200 and some likes, which isn't a lot for a guy who has like tens of thousands of followers, but whatever. And it got a little nasty here and there. Not really, but just people commenting back and forth or sending me gifs of wrestling gifs of people getting beat. Like you have 170 followers was like he smacked me down. Like he did the gif of Shaq dunking on the guy and shoving him out of the way. And I was like, that doesn't feel like this at all. He didn't dunk on me. I'm well aware of what I had. Yeah. But then, like, some people, like, we gained a few followers, so people were tweeting at him, like, oh, it's 171 now, 172 now. And somebody else was like, so did your podcast till you latched on to Barstool in some way or whatever. So, like, the people who stood up, I appreciate it. Not that it was a big deal. Nobody ended up engaging as much as I wanted them to. I kind of wanted to brawl with one of these weirdos that were going to come at me and, like, so maybe they're all too concerned with the shadow inauguration they thought was going to happen.
So, like, here's my, like, whole thing with Barstool. Like, they put out some content that I genuinely enjoy. Mm-hmm. There's some personalities there that I genuinely enjoy.
Right.
There's a lot there that are kind of pieces of shit.
Yes.
And they perpetuate a certain type of culture.
Of course they do.
Bro culture that, like, I fucking hate.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, hey, do what the fuck you want. I don't care. Just just in case.
Just know what's coming.
Yeah, because I've seen what these weirdos that latch onto these dudes can do.
Yeah.
And dude, like, I like some of Brandon Walker's stuff. Like, he's kind of like his college football stuff. He's kind of funny. Like,
he apparently an hour ago he interviewed MJF for something he's putting out tomorrow.
Yeah, like, so, like, dude is like he's actually not bad.
Looking at his video here, he looks a little bit more like Jake Busey.
Jesus Christ!
But it's beside the point.
But yeah, like, I don't know. I just kind of find it, or I found it kind of funny.
Right. I was hoping to just have fun and mess around and make people mad and then block them. But he ended up responding like. He was like, I don't know how this is an insult. Bobby Eaton was beautiful. And my response, I never said he wasn't.
Yeah.
That wasn't the insult part. I think you look like Bobby Eaton. The insult part's that you're a dummy and you work for Barstool. But anyway, nothing came of it. But again, if you're listening to us because of this interaction,
thanks.
Hey, welcome to the party, pal.
So, welcome to the party, honey.
I was thinking more Die Hard, but whatever.
Well, I was thinking more Jerry Only.
Yeah.
Former WCW superstar Jerry Only.
Right. Always keeping it wrestling. That's what I like about you.
Always. It always comes back around.
It's true.
So the fucking Young Bucks come out and they're like, we love our dad and our dad's cool and our dad fucking whatever.
What's that voice you doing?
I don't know.
That's weird.
They sounded I don't know. They were perpetuating a certain emotion.
Yeah, the perturbedness.
Okay, they were just perturbed.
Yeah, they haven't been anything beyond maybe kind of upset.
All right,
listen. Last week, I commend them. They really reined in their emotions because last week their dad got covered in raspberry jam.
They do like the whole like one-liner against MJF. Mm-hmm. Then they said like Jericho, like, oh, you would just be jerking the curtain at the Performance Center.
Yeah,
I'm like. What?
Yeah.
Like, so he'd be on NXT or?
Sure.
Okay, that was a weird line.
Well, I guess maybe because they thought that like the shows still happened at the Performance Center.
Maybe, I don't know.
Not
and
then
they're
Thunderdome.
Like our dad taught us compassion, and
your dad taught you a lot of things.
Sometimes he taught us we gotta kick a little ass. Mm-hmm. And then a brouhaha busts out, and like if
my dad taught us that we don't like the gays. That's what they really meant to say because the Young Bucks suck.
Jesus. If like One dude, like, I wouldn't want in a fight to back me up came running out and was Brandon Cutler.
Right.
I
would just be like, just
I'm like,
punch me.
oh, thanks, dude.
Get it over with.
So they
The Young
end up,
Bucks are bad, but their dad is worse. How is that possible?
yeah. So they end up beating them down, like, Santana and Ortiz. Poor Santana and Ortiz. God damn it. And then Good Brothers come out and they help set up tables, and the Young Bucks do dives off of tables and put Santana and Ortiz through tables while Jericho and MJF just stand there watching. So
happy that hopefully Santana and Ortiz get the title shot out of this in some way.
But man,
sad that they'll probably just get
guys.
Buried and removed from TV again.
Makes me sad.
Yeah.
So next match, we're moving on. We have Jurassic Express.
Hold on. You missed a very important part of this show here,
that's fucked up because this was my favorite part.
Yeah, that's what I figured this was going to be your favorite part of the show, and you didn't even want to fucking talk about it.
I'm sorry.
In hype, in build, in video packageness for the pay-per-view coming up, Moxley versus Omega in an exploding barbed wire death match, AEW managed to get Onita on TNT.
My man.
They showed FMW clips with, I think, Tarzan Godo.
Yeah, it was Tarzan Godo.
I saw yellow at first, and that in FMW that either means Tarzan Godo or a few years later it means Fuyuki.
Yeah, no, it was Tarzan
Godo because he had the strap and the long hair and was somehow in worse shape than Fuyuki. But anyway, we got Onita to like talk and subtitled and look like the coolest motherfucker to ever live because that's what Onita is.
So at this point, like I remember because I shushed my nephew. And I was like, look, it's Onita. Yeah. And that means dick all to him. And then I had to explain what exploding barbed wire death matches are and what Onita is. And I tried talking to him about what FMW is, but I got kind of lost on him, which is fine. I get it.
Well, he's not there yet.
He'll get there, God damn it. I'm going to make a ghoul out of him no matter what. But yeah, dude, Onita was on TV. Onita.
Right.
So
Onita. Yeah. So it was Onita, right? So Onita ran. One of my favorite thing about Onita, just in case people don't know this, Onita, like many Japanese wrestlers before him, got into the political game when he retired from the ring before unretiring from the ring.
He sure did.
And he ran in 2001. He won an election as a representative, and did a bunch of good stuff, and then had to exit from politics because of a sex scandal where I believe he was on like a business trip and had a three-way or something. Onita is the best.
He's a pro wrestler. Like, come on.
Yeah, but like Inoki was in politics. Straight Sasuke was in politics.
A pro wrestler having sex with somebody else on a business trip. What a wild concept.
Right? Very interesting thing. Who would have thunk of that? Who would have thunk that a man would do that and then he would also get an emporium? Anyway, Onita was on TV. Wow. What's that face?
I was just looking at my phone. I don't know what face you're talking about.
We'll have to edit that out of the show?
No.
Okay, good. You don't listen.
Promo code Mortis gets you 5 days free.
But yeah, Onita was on TNT, and it made me super happy. Very excited. Makes me more hopeful for this death match, but also more worried because now Onita's endorsed it, so you can't fuck it up. It's a bigger fall from grace if you fuck it up now.
And I think I read that AEW invited Onita to come.
Ooh.
I don't know how.
He should just be in it.
Could you imagine three-way? What if Onita, all of a sudden you just hear Bad Reputation play and Onita comes out?
Mox is trying to be like the American Onita anyway.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with it at all. So we'll just sub him out. We'll do a little twin magic and put Onita in the match. So
he got invited to come over to the States, but due to COVID-19 he decided no.
Bummer.
Because Onita has a fucking head on his shoulders.
Yeah.
But he said that he can go to AEW and do something once the pandemic calms down.
I mean, no complaints from me. If the do something, can it be just kill the Young Bucks or
wouldn't that be some fucking shit?
Maim Matt Hardy so he never wrestles again.
Oh, that'd be so great.
So we got Onita and some FMW clips on TNT.
Yeah.
At 8:30.
Yes. So moving on. Yeah. Next match.
Yes.
Jurassic Express going up against FTR and Tully Blanchard. led to the ring with J.J. Dillon.
That's right.
What the fuck
James
is
J.
going on in the world?
So AEW was like, all right, this is the go-home show. I guess we're just going to pull out all the stops. So like a week or two ago, they had Dory in the crowd.
Yeah, in like a half hour, you had Shaq, Onita, and J.J. Dillon. And Tully Blanchard wrestling.
Perfect.
The fuck?
I didn't know that Tully's as old as he is.
Yeah, he's old.
He's old. I didn't know that.
He's an old man.
Yeah.
He looks great.
He looks awesome.
Yeah. He comes
He's
out
the best looking out of all those horsemen.
Yeah, he comes out wearing like the old
like
school
himself.
NWA US title.
Yep.
FTR is like, well, we got to wear old NWA belts too, and they were wearing the old NWA tag belts.
Yeah.
So I was like, but
Dumb.
whatever.
Yeah.
The match itself, it goes 11 minutes.
Yeah.
FTR gets the win. Listen, dude.
This match did the one thing it needed to do.
Totally doing the slingshot suplex.
That's all it needed to do.
That's all it fucking needed. Towards the end of the match.
Took a literal shit in the ring. As long as Tully did the slingshot, I don't give a shit about anything else.
Yeah. Towards the end of the match, I forget who it was, got attacked by a man wearing a hood and a mask. Yeah. And
was it Marco? Because they did a lot of Marco versus Tully. Tully only really squared off against Marco.
Well, that's who's been mainly drawn with,
exactly.
which is great.
It's awesome. It works because Tully can't be doing a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
I thought Tully looked awesome. Stole the show because he's Tully Blanchard and he knows how to wrestle.
Yes. The man in the AEW sweater gets in the ring.
I was genuinely like, who's this gonna be? This is gonna be crazy. And then it happened. I was like, oh shit.
I'm glad you got excited because the whole time I'm like, well, I know where this is going.
You know why? Because I completely forgot this asshole.
Yeah, because he's been off TV for a long time.
Thank God.
He removes his beanie and his mask.
Yeah.
And it is your boy,
Jan Spears.
He's back.
Yep.
With a blonde mohawk.
It's nice that WWE has the decency to get rid of Damian Priest on the stuff that I watch, and AEW's like, you know what? Jan Spears.
God giveth, God taketh away, sir.
So we get him, and I guess Tully included. They're the new horsemen.
I don't know, because Arn comes out on the stage, which was
Throws
weird.
The four, right.
Threw the four, JJ and Tully threw it up.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, weird.
It's weird.
Very weird.
Because I know, like, a while back there was that story going around where like Cody's gonna join up with them. It's gonna be Cody, FTR, and Spears is like,
and with Tully and the JJ
Tully
Dillon role.
Well, Tully and Arn with them. So
it's interesting to me that Arn Anderson can walk out to the stage, throw the four horsemen up, but he doesn't have the decency to text Ric Flair.
Don't get me started. Fire me. I'm already fired.
Fire me. I'm already fired.
I fucking love Mage.
But anyway,
he rifled a Gucci shoe.
This is not my joke. Trevor Dame on Twitter, who's a great follow, said
he's
this
one of my favorites.
and said that any group of four people that involve Sean Spears needs to be called the Four Boresmen.
Dude, Trevor Dame's awesome.
Because they're boring. And I was like, I've been calling Sean Spears Jan Spears for a long time.
Yeah.
Because that dude stinks. So, but I will say I enjoyed this match because I got to see Tully.
I was happy seeing JJ.
Yeah,
JJ getting helped into the ring.
Right. Well, JJ's an old man.
He is an old man.
JJ was an old man when I met him at Chikara all those years ago and got my book signed by him. So
yeah. So Tony's on stage with the mic. He's got some questions. I love that JJ walks by and tells Tony, "It don't get any better." And Tony goes, "Yeah, you ain't getting paid for that, JJ.
You ain't get paid extra." Yeah. Yep.
Like that's great.
Right.
Here comes.
I like watching Shivani riff. Man, because like
he's so
he
good
comes
at
from that.
it.
He comes from that era. With these
where
guys,
shit isn't scripted.
They're more comfortable.
He never really went through a scripted thing,
right?
You know?
Right. So I like, he's more comfortable. He knows these guys. He already has sort of a rapport with all of them. So he's quicker. He's quicker on the gun with that kind of stuff.
Like I say, like all the young guys love him, and he's more like he's willing to watch like the young guys. Like that's what I love about him, and not Jr.
Yep.
Well, Tony introduces one
big woman. He's doing that shit again. This big woman.
One Mr. Paul White.
Yes.
A.K.A. the Giant.
No more BS.
What a fucking stupid
That means the big show, and it means the way WWE runs business. You get it?
I get it.
Sorry.
Paul White's here. He's happy. Talks about him and Tony going to be on commentary for that new dark show that I'm not going to watch.
Well, we'll watch the first one maybe.
He said, "I'm taking my job seriously, and I got a big scoop."
Scoop. That's what the BS stands for. Big scoop.
The big scoop.
Well, it's the big scoop.
Dude, he should just come out eating ice cream and blowing heaters every week. That'd be. Oh man, I'd be all about him. That'd be great.
That's the big scoop.
Ripping vape clouds everywhere.
It's in a waffle cone tonight.
Dude, I love waffle cones.
Waffle cone's delicious.
So he says that we are signing a Hall of Fame caliber wrestler, and I'm going to reveal who it is this Sunday.
Yeah.
At AEW, I think he called it like Evolution, which was definitely wrong because it's Revolution.
Close
but
enough.
that's all right.
So,
Paul.
do you know why he misspoke? Why? Because Evolution's a mystery.
I hate you. I hate you so bad. I saw a lot of people were like, obviously speculation runs wild.
Yeah, sure.
A lot of people are like, yo, why are we doing this TNA bullshit? Because TNA used to do this, it seemed, every few months, like, game-changing announcement. And one time it was Tito Ortiz.
They're walking that TNA line a little bit, unfortunately. But maybe we'll get Scott Steiner walking the Tiger out.
Oh, don't tempt me. You know what, WWE, you can sign Rick's kid. We're just going to bring in Scott with a Tiger.
That's right.
So, next match...
So wait, hold on. Who could it be? Who are you thinking?
Who could it be now?
Good job. Who are you thinking? Make a pick right now. I'm picking Ahmed Johnson. I'm not really.
Okay, that's wishful thinking.
I know.
Originally,
I'm picking Big T.
Even better.
It's true.
As long as he flips off the crowd and smacks his butt on the way out,
Go
and walks into AEW drinking a gallon of milk.
So who's your pick for who are you thinking?
At first, I thought Kurt Angle.
Okay.
And now a lot of people mentioned some shit on Twitter, I guess, tonight, speculating it could be Christian.
Mm-hmm. So both of those options very TNA.
Well, yeah, because literally both of them left the and went to TNA.
Right, and Christian had a better run there. He's held the title and stuff.
I will always say Christian had a better run in TNA than he ever did in WWE. Yeah. Like him and Orton stuff was kind of fun in like 2013.
But other than that, his main WWE stuff, like the height of his powers, if you will, was tag team with him and Edge.
Yeah.
5-second pose and stuff.
Sure, of course. So, and you know, that's where I see a lot of people just saying, why do we keep signing all these guys?
Right. Doesn't make any sense.
I get, like, you have to have name recognition. I understand that.
Yeah.
You've been on TV for, like, coming up on a year and a half now.
Right.
You got to build your own guys.
Right. I think I'd be more interested in AEW as a whole, and they do build their own guys because they build Young Bucks like crazy. But like, I want to see the other guys. I want OC hasn't been in a meaningful thing. Like, I mean, the Miro stuff, but it stinks. But like, like
Eddie.
Right, Eddie. Like, let's feature these guys all the time instead of letting these announcements and WWE stars steal the thunder. It's fine. They're getting a little too crowded. And again, I expressed this when they brought in other people. Like, somebody has to get moved out of the way because, like, with Sting, I'm excited to see Sting. I think Sting's looking good, but somebody gets moved out of the way for Sting to have his weekly spot like he does every week. So this is going to be interesting. We talked about it, and I think when we talked about, there's only one name that is like a holy shit, this is huge. This is your turning the tides moment.
Alpha male Monty Brown.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, yes.
Yeah.
I would tithe to AEW like 10% of my salary if they brought in Monty Brown and put the title on him. That
just have him pounce everybody.
Right. Absolutely. Comes in, pounces, ring explodes. He's the champion now.
And then like AEW's like, all right, we're done. We're done.
That's it. Monty Brown retired.
Yeah.
Hang him up. Hang his jersey up in the rafters. Yeah. Hang his leopard print shirt up in the rafters. Tiger stripes, whatever.
This ring is his Serengeti, baby.
Right. No, Lesnar. It's such a long shot, but like to me, that's the only guy that will really make a big impact. That'll really matter.
That is like the ultimate holy shit.
Right. Christian's cool. He's a talented guy.
Sure.
He just got cleared to work.
Sure.
Kurt Angle's cool. I hope he never wrestles again for his
health. I don't think he will.
But if they're making this big announcement, it's got to be somebody who's going to wrestle, somebody who's going to add something to the roster. Big Show's not even doing that, even though he says he has his license. He's going to wrestle here and there. I think the Hulk Hogan to WCW moment, the only guy that can come close to that is Lesnar.
Yeah. And like it's fun to play around with.
Right. Big Dave, another option.
Yeah, Big Dave, yeah.
Huge megastar, but not in wrestling anymore necessarily.
No, like if it was Brock, it'd be just absolutely mind blowing.
Huge.
But we'll find out.
We'll find out on Sunday, and you'll find out shortly thereafter on Sunday. But anyway.
So, AEW Women's Tournament Final.
Okay.
Ryo Mizunami.
Yep.
Going up against Nyla Rose.
Yeah, Mizunami wins next.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. I'm super excited about it. I'm glad. You know,
I laugh because I'm like, okay, so the whole United States side was for nothing.
Right. That's the thing. Nyla getting this far means basically nothing now, and it should have been Thunder Rosa.
I want to see how long
so
it
that
takes.
break can cost her the match, and Mizunami gets to move on.
I want to see how long it takes for Nyla to be back on TV.
Right.
We'll see. Yeah. She wasn't on TV for a long time before this. Right. So we'll see.
Right, and they had her win, but she didn't have a particularly great run through this tournament. So, like, it just doesn't matter. It doesn't do anything. They were teasing on commentary about the third meeting between her and Shida and, like, paying that off and who truly is the better one. And I'm glad they didn't go in that direction, but it makes the rest of the U.S. side of the bracket pointless.
Yeah.
We just got Nyla Rose matches that weren't particularly good.
Yeah, I'm with you.
But I'm excited for Mizunami versus Shida. We're going to get a pay-per-view Joshi match.
I'm about it, yeah.
In the U.S., yeah. And, you know, maybe if Shida wins, she'll come out in that white suit again.
Sup,
Shida.
So Shida gets in the ring, gives the trophy to Ryo, bows, shakes hands, and then Ryo just fucking levels her. And listen, it's all about wrist control, okay? They had each other's wrists, and they just keep slugging it out.
Right.
And they're smiling while doing it. Put it in my fucking veins.
Right. I think that's going to be a killer match. I think we'll see the next level of Shida because it'll be easier to communicate. They have a history. They have a sort of chemistry already. And I think Shida's been good, but she's also been not so good. And I think it's sort of the caliber of American wrestlers that she faces have to sort of, not walk her through stuff because she's a talented wrestler. But communication and chemistry has been a bit of an issue sometimes. I think this one will be killer. I'm excited for this.
God, I hope so.
Yeah.
We come back from break. Shivani's in the ring. Here comes the Stinger.
Skiavone.
Stinger, he says, Sting, you're prepared. Sting says 2 weeks ago he thought he was ready, but then Cage power bombed him and it didn't feel too good.
Yes.
But then he says, Cage, you knocked all the rust off and I'm ready for a fight. And out comes Ricky Starks by himself.
Yeah.
And he said he's tired of his budding romance between Sting and Shivani. Says, Sting, he showed something that Stark hasn't seen in him. He said, I'm man enough to admit, like, I'm wrong. This is the Stinger. This is the icon. And then he says, by the way, you're not really an icon.
That's right, because because there's only one man who's an icon.
Roddy Piper?
It's Roddy Piper.
Damn right.
I cower over no man. Icon.
I fucking love Piper. So Ricky paintbrushes him. Yeah. Sting starts beating the shit out of him.
Starks bumps like crazy for Sting.
Dude, right?
Crazy.
He made it seem like Sting was Brock Lesnar. Like he was flying all over the ring.
Good. You got to Sting's age, you got to make him look good. It's up to you to make him look like $1 million.
Starks is the man.
Unlike what Seth Rollins did with him.
Oh boy. Yeah, he almost paralyzed him.
Well, even before that, he wasn't helping him any.
Wow. So Sting is just beating the shit out of him. Sting puts him in the Scorpion Deathlock.
Yep.
Sting falls over in the Scorpion Deathlock, which made me giggle.
Yeah.
Because Hobbs and Hook come running in from the crowd. Hook put Sting in like a choke.
That's right.
And Sting just brushed him off.
Yeah, of course.
Cage grabs Sting because he comes running out. He's going to powerbomb him. Darby comes out. He jumps on his back. The music
hits and Cage is looking through the stands and Darby tricks him.
Comes out for the entrance ramp.
Yes.
Team Taz retreats. Sting hits a Stinger splash. Darby to the top rope. Shotgun dropkick to Cage.
Yeah.
Team Taz, they take off running.
Yep.
So
they're building that.
It's going to be interesting, man. It's probably going to be a cinematic match, I imagine, on Sunday.
I don't know.
I don't know how much Sting can actually do. So
he's taking power bombs and shit.
That's one bump.
Yeah, but he doesn't have to bump in a match. He just brawl it out.
Yeah.
Just
kicks and punches and strikes.
Kicks and punches, Stinger splashes, give him a couple squishers.
Kick, punch, it's all in the mind.
And if you want to test me, I'm sure you'll find.
And this is why you're my best pal.
But you're right. It probably will be cinematic, but I think Sting they can work around. Let Starks bump pretty big for him. Let Sting sort of take a big shot from Cage and tag out, or retreat from Cage. Play that a little bit because Cage has beat him up a couple times, so he's weary to get in there with him, but he knows he can toss around Starks. Darby and Cage are the feud anyway right now. I think they could work a real match. Sting wouldn't be taking too many bumps until probably the end or so, but I think they can do it, but maybe cinematic's the better way to go.
Yeah. Next match.
Is it a gimmick? Is there a...
It's just a street fight.
Oh, it's just a street fight?
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah. I was going to say, because you can... Even in a street fight, you can work around, have some stuff in the ring, then take it out of the ring, and then put it up on the screen, but they're not actually doing it, and have them come... You can work around a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Sort of make it a hybrid.
So next match, we have 10.
Yeah.
With -1.
Mm-hmm.
The
best part of the match, -1.
Yeah. Going up
that's it.
Against Max Caster.
For the rights to be in the ladder match.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Max Caster wins after about 9 minutes. Jack Evans under the ring. He smashed 10 with a boombox.
Yeah.
Max Caster covers. There's the win.
He also had the line of "put you on blast" like Lady Gaga's dog walker.
He sure did.
And then he was going to continue to rap and then stopped awkwardly. I don't know if he had some lines written to make fun of -1 and somebody was like, hey, maybe don't.
Well, if you remember even on the Brody tribute show, like him and his tag partner were like the cheap heat guys, so that's okay.
But it was an awkward ending, though. It seemed like he wanted to say more, and they told him to shut up for a second. But
so after the match, Matt Hardy gives Jack Evans a envelope of $4,200.
Oh, great.
Because this is still fucking happening.
Yes, it is.
Miro cuts a promo against Chucky T and says he has no other option to give the people what they want, destruction. Everyone's been waiting for Miro to bust some heads.
Yes.
You don't have to wait any longer. And
Right. Yeah. Not interested.
main event time.
Is it, though?
Matt Hardy and Quen going up against John Silver and the Hangman.
Yep.
When I realized, so it was pretty late. I got home pretty late to watch wrestling.
Yeah.
It was at this point. It was like after 12:30, and I'm going, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Boy, I'm gonna have to power through this one." Hangman and John Silver got the win. 11 minutes.
So I don't know that they're going to permanently become a tag team. Probably not.
They should.
They should.
Yeah, but poor Alex Reynolds. You got to keep him in.
Right. But John Silver,
Is the man.
the Meat Man,
Yeah. The raw dog.
and Hangman, Adam Page, they should get matching gear and call themselves the Hang and Meat Men.
I'm about it. You
Okay.
can tweet it.
All right.
Tweet it at them.
Okay.
Yeah. John Silver rules.
Yep.
Hangman rules.
Yeah.
Matt Hardy looks
Is
like
the
he's
opposite of
moving
that.
in the mud.
Terrible. And like this weird, like splitting up a private party every week to tag with Matt Hardy.
Yeah, and then like after the match, Hardy attacks.
Remember when they let these guys beat the Young Bucks and they were going to be treated like the biggest tag team, like the homegrown tag team, and this is what they're doing now, like a year and a half later?
Pepperidge Farmers remembers.
Right, garbage.
Matt attacks from behind. He clocks Silver. Then he's hitting Page and he's saying, This was just a setup, and I'm going to take the money. And
Right.
I'm just like, holy fuck, this sucks.
Right, terrible.
Like, God, like, this is your, like, closing segment on a go-home show? Like, what are we doing? Dark Order runs down there, start beating up Matt Hardy. They're just stomping the shit out of him. -1's losing his mind on stage, which was cool. And then out comes, like, Butcher and Blade, and more guys come out.
Because there's a tag team
and
battle
it's a
royal.
tag team battle royal, and this is, like, the go-home segment?
Yeah. They're
Like-
hyping their tag team battle royal for the pre-show of the pay-per-view as their go-home.
And then, like, Pac and Ray Phoenix run down, and Matt Hardy makes a run for it. It was weird,
It was weird.
man.
The last half of this show was very weird. It was good enough, but just odd for a go-home show. I'm still riding high because of the Shaq stuff. But, man, weird.
It was like you peaked at the opening of the show.
Yeah, definitely.
And then it was
There
just
was a big
gradually
peak.
downhill. And
Reverse book show all the way. And I get it. They wanted to get the Shaq thing out early to get more
of course,
eyes on it.
it's 8 o'clock at night. You want like casuals to tune in.
Right.
I get that, and I'm
Exactly.
cool with that. That's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
But it was weird.
Right.
Like you couldn't have ended like the night with like Omega and Moxley promo or something.
Right, you'd think
like,
they'd have a square off or something to hype the
like-
main event of the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Like have Mox with barbed wire or something that
something,
explodes
guys.
to tease it.
Like something.
Something other than Onita. I mean, Onita's great.
I love
Not-
Onita, but like, like that match has some hype.
Right.
Like, end it with that.
Right.
What are we doing here?
I agree.
Fucking weird. Let's tune in to the USA Network now.
Yes, USA.
NXT.
NXT. MVP.
Let's see what we're getting into.
That's a good way to describe it.
First match.
What are we getting into?
Danny Burch and Oni Lorcan.
Yeah.
Going up against Toothless Timmy and Tommaso Ciampa.
Didn't we just see this not that long ago, too?
Well, this is like the replacement match for what was supposed to be the MSK match.
Oh, right, because Wes actually broke his hand.
Yeah.
Bummer. Poor dude.
Yeah.
That's bad luck.
Yeah,
but he should be back
sucks.
in a few weeks. Not going to be that big of a deal.
Yeah.
They'll get. I assume they'll get their title shot when they come back.
Yeah,
right?
and this match was non-title.
Oh, that's right, because Tommaso was like usually man enough to give a title shot and needs some. Did he like balls, or he hinted that he was going to say balls? I don't remember.
I don't. Yeah.
Whatever.
Burch and Lorcan, they get the win. It was like 13 minutes. I thought it was good.
Yeah.
I thought it was like they beat each other up.
Right.
It didn't go too long.
Yeah.
I thought it was good. It was just, it's tough when you kind of have like a throwaway though.
Yeah.
Like the finish is never in doubt.
Right.
They hit Thatcher with like the elevated DDT for the finish.
Yeah.
During the match, Imperium showed up on stage because Thatcher has history with them.
Does he?
Yeah, like so before they were WWE, it was him, Bartel, and Walter.
Oh,
together.
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was Ringkampf was their name.
Okay.
Yeah, so they
In Germany?
like WXW, I
WXW
believe it
Germany?
was.
Yeah. Huh,
So
interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
so they have history.
I saw the pictures of them, but I didn't know. I just don't
well,
follow
and
them enough.
and we'll talk about it a little bit later because
Yeah.
Ciampa says something. So, but yeah, I thought the match was fun.
Yeah,
Like it was
those
just
guys are
very
good.
yeah.
It's like the curse of being a smart mark, if you will, or an exposed wrestling fan is that you're watching this and we know what the finish is going to be. We know that it's a throwaway match, so it is harder as an adult wrestling fan.
yeah.
It
is. It just is what it is. At
It
this
just is
point.
what it is. The wrestlers have to work harder. It's sort of part of the reason why wrestling has become what it is, because you have to work harder to get people invested because the storyline is just not there. Most of us understand what's going to happen.
Sure.
But it also a non-title match. Usually the non-champions win those. So that was but whatever.
Yeah. Hey, that was Burch and Lorcan's first tag match. I felt like on TV in a long time.
Yeah.
Very long
It's
time.
This is a long run for transitional champions.
The transitional's gone. We go to a very pissed off Roddy Strong coming to the
Yes.
ring. He throws down his UE dog tags, which I laughed
mad.
because like Cole snatched him last week. But hey, that's
Well,
fine.
he fixed them.
So he wants Adam Cole. Out comes Finn Balor, and says that Adam's not going to come out for you. Roddy says, this is your fault.
Yes.
This is all your fault. This is why Undisputed Era is breaking up. Finn says, no, this is why you broke up, and holds up the belt.
Right.
And then says, I know how to get him out here. Hey, Cole, next week you and me for the title.
Right.
He goes, that'll get his attention. That should get him out here. And then he cuts down Roddy a little bit, saying, you're never going to be at the top. You have no killer instinct.
Right.
And Roddy levels him, which, as you should.
Sure.
Show some fire,
Gotta
kid.
figure out what Roddy's doing because he's kind of twisted in the wind right now.
Well, yeah, it's going to be – I mean, I'm still along for the story. So Roddy levels him. They break him apart. And tonight it's going to be Roddy versus Finn in the main event.
Yes.
Which when I saw that, I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
sign me the fuck up.
So I will admit, watching NXT, I watch NXT second. At this point in my night, my phone was blowing up with all the Barstool shit, and I was waiting to get some sort of response and fight. So I watched all of NXT, but man, some of it I was more like, when's this Barstool guy gonna actually rip into me so I can embarrass him on the internet?
So your choice for show this week is going to be skewed.
I mean,
Maybe.
maybe.
All right. Well, let's keep going.
Yeah.
We go to a psych hospital
Yes.
where a therapist is there with the whole damn way.
Yeah.
Scumbag Candace suggested being locked up with a dude for 3 days isn't a vacation, which I was like, that was a good line.
Right.
Indy's doodling Mrs. Indy Wrestling Loomis.
My favorite part of this thing is when she has to show it to them.
Dude.
Uh-huh.
Gargano's like, what are you doing?
Right.
You ruined Christmas.
Yeah. I gave you that name. Yeah. Yeah.
He's freaking out. The therapist starts freaking out on him and says, you have deep-rooted issues. You need to get out of
You
here.
need to get out of here. Right.
And we got it to be continued.
Yes.
Thank God, because this is... we'll talk at the end of the whole segments, but Damn.
Dude, it sucks, and I wish that Austin wasn't involved, Redacted wasn't involved.
Seriously, man.
Because the rest of it is so funny.
It's so goddamn funny.
And like Indy is like growing on me by the minute because she's being very funny in this.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So we go backstage, and who's sitting there? Cameron Grimes. He's saying it's time to make some changes.
Yes.
He wants to use the money to change the name of this place to the Cameron Grimes Auditorium.
That's right.
Regal interrupts, tells him the crew member he hit last week might want to sue. Cameron says, "I don't care, I got money."
Right.
And he offers Regal money, and Regal says, "I don't want your money, but you have a match with Bronson Reed." And Grimes says, "Damn you, Ted DiBiase."
It's gotta lead to him and DiBiase,
Dude,
like just the confrontation.
Fingers crossed.
Gotta be.
They announce officially next week Balor versus Cole for the NXT title.
Yeah.
Which I feel is like this is going to be where Cole wins.
You think so?
Cole wins. Takeover is going to be like Mania weekend.
Yeah.
O'Reilly Cole. It makes
Really?
sense. Yeah, I think
they're
so.
ready to drop it to Balor. Drop it from Balor
Yeah.
already.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. That's the story.
Okay.
Drop it to Balor. You have around a little less than a month more to build up O'Reilly Cole.
Okay.
I think that's where you.
So do you think
route
Roddy
go.
takes Cole's side, and it's all been a ploy this whole time, and he helps Cole win?
Truthfully, I don't know what Roddy does.
I'm saying he's twisting in the wind a little bit.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Next match, though, what I do know, Aaliyah
Yeah, great.
going up against Ember Moon.
Yep.
Ember Moon comes out on the tank. Sup, all-timer Shotzi.
All-timer.
Last night was an all-timer.
Okay.
Like,
All right.
jaw dropped a little bit.
Yeah.
They go back and forth. Really, the only thing that matters is Ember hitting the Eclipse at the
Right,
end of the match.
Yeah.
5 minutes. Ember rules.
Yeah. Not to overstep any boundaries here into a certain territory that I don't want to be associated with.
Don't you goddamn
But
dare.
but Shotzi's a real good Instagram follow.
She indeed is. Yeah. You got me. I don't even know what to say now.
Ember hitting the finish is the best part of the match. Aaliyah is shocked that Aaliyah is still employed.
Listen, I don't want to wish for anybody to lose jobs or anything ever.
Right.
But she's been there a long time,
And she ain't doing nothing.
and that was the peak.
She's over.
I feel like it's
Pink
done.
was getting her nose kicked off her face.
Yeah. Backstage, Timothy Thatcher gets asked about Imperium, and he says, "I have a past, and they keep throwing it in my face, but they're just a past, nothing more."
Yeah.
The champion says, "Let's go." So,
It's very funny that it's sort of like a jealous boyfriend versus jealous of the ex. He's like, listen, he was important to me at one point, but it doesn't mean anything to me now. You mean everything to me now. But then you see him talking.
you catch him DMing,
Right. Slide into DMs.
Like, oh, she just wanted me to
Text
pick
messages.
up a sweatshirt.
Right.
Like,
Ciampa's
it's my
gonna-
favorite hoodie.
Ciampa's going to be reading Thatcher's text messages.
This is going down some weird territory. There's like some weird fan fiction
Yeah.
that's happening. And
Yes.
I don't want that.
It's just going to, never mind.
Go ahead.
Nope.
Say what
Nope.
you want to say.
Nope.
You a man or a mouse?
I'm a mouse.
Chirp, chirp. All right. Next match. What the fuck is happening tonight? Next match. The WWE Women's Tag Team titles are on the line.
They are.
Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler defending against Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez,
Dudettes with attitudettes.
winners of the Dusty Cup.
Yeah.
This goes 13 minutes.
Yeah, and you know what? Nia Jax is bad at wrestling.
I'm happy you said it.
She's bad.
She stinks.
She's bad at wrestling.
Like, listen, I don't honestly, I can't tell you the last time I watched a full episode of Raw.
Right.
I don't really care what she does. I never really cared what she did. All I know is she hurt my poor baby Kairi Sane and sent her back to Japan.
Right.
She's hurt Bailey.
Yep.
She's hurt
Everybody.
Becky.
Everybody.
I mean, granted, it worked out in Becky's favor, but still, like, you fucking threw the old potato at her.
Right.
There was a point in this match where she gorilla pressed Dakota Kai and just dropped her right on her shoulder. I'm like, oh, come on.
she's very bad at wrestling, and I appreciate the she's large, so she's super strong wrestling sort of mathematics of it all, but she's just not a talented wrestler.
Not my cup of tea.
I like the size difference. I like that she looks imposing in the ring. This gear she wore was not. It's an odd design, an odd place to put like lace on a woman's bodysuit, but whatever. But man, she's just like fundamentally she's a bad professional wrestler, and like that's hard to get past. And with her history, I'm just waiting for her to hurt people. So it's just fundamentally a bad professional wrestler. But fundamentally a very good professional wrestler is Shayna Baszler.
Yeah. The stuff with Shayna and Dakota Kai I thought was really good. I thought it was awesome. The ending fucking sucked. I hated it.
So I mean, I was upset. I like the idea of a screw job that they're going to move forward and build. These two teams feuding, hopefully, and Regal feuding with Adam Pearce a little bit.
My whole thing is, what's the point? Why do we fucking need it? Why?
Because maybe you...
I don't know, dude. Like, I
build
just...
toward Mania with it. I don't know.
I just don't. Like, why do you have to do that?
Right.
Just do a fucking screw job finish.
Well, so...
Rev counted to 3, Dakota's foot was on the ropes.
Right. So
that's it.
Regal is saying that they're changing the rules of the women's division or the tag titles or whatever.
I don't know.
I don't know if this is their way of introducing the NXT women's tag titles.
It's too much.
It's too much. But I think their purpose was to keep Dakota and Raquel strong.
Oh, I get the purpose,
but
I just don't
it was
like
not.
the
Yeah, it
way
was
it
not
got
executed as well as they thought. And I think mostly it's because they're in a corner where Nia doesn't know how to wrestle. She's not good at it.
Yeah.
Not only is she not good at it, I think she also actively is unwilling to put people over and make people look good because she probably has that. And I don't know. This is just me speculating, but she has that mindset of like, how you couldn't beat me for real. So why should I make you look good if you couldn't beat me for real? It's all about me.
I don't know.
I think she stinks.
It's just,
and honestly,
yeah.
I would never. I'll be fine never watching her wrestle again. I'm not interested.
Yeah.
In her, I'm glad she's not on NXT. I want her out of here.
Even when she was on NXT, I was like, okay, I just don't care.
She's coming dangerously close to challenging Dana Brooke for a certain title.
Ooh, shit.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're going back to therapy.
Yes, part 2.
Dickhead's talking about how Dexter just might need a friend.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, I'll be his friend.
Right.
Candace says, she mentions all the people that, Dexter kidnapped.
Uh-huh.
And then she slips up, and it's just all Johnny texting her.
Right.
So the therapist opens the door. Johnny's outside. He's like, I'm just going to get some Uber Eats. You guys want anything?
Right.
And she sends Candace into the packing too, and she closes the door. And Johnny's like, no, for real, do you guys want anything from Uber Eats?
Yeah.
Like, it's just great.
Johnny's been real funny.
Johnny's
it's a shame that it's circling around a piece of shit.
We go to the studio where Isaiah Scott is there making beats.
Okay.
And then he talks about how Leon Ruff was handed opportunities while he got nothing.
Yeah.
He's not playing the good guy anymore.
Okay. I don't care. Don't work.
Speaking of things I don't care about, LA Knight.
God.
LA Knight's in the building.
Yeah. Can I just lead off with this before we get to him just doing another rip-off Rock promo with the Steve Austin voice? It's so odd seeing 40-year-old dudes debut in NXT and be like, I'm here to take over the joint.
Well, it's funny because this is his second round
Right.
of like being at the Performance Center.
Right.
Like,
and he's like, it's LA Knight's time, and LA Knight did that, and it's just like, dude, you're 40.
You're Eli Drake.
You ain't. I don't see it. Like, you're 40 years old. They signed you and they gave you the name L.A. Knight. I don't think they got high hopes for you, pal.
Yeah.
And seriously, he cuts, like, he switches between Austin promos with a Rock voice and Rock promos with an Austin voice.
Sure.
And it just doesn't work for me.
Yeah, I never, like, we talked when he first arrived where never really gave a shit about Eli Drake.
Right, and I like to his promos, like the 2 or 3 he's done. He's like, Eli Drake shows up when Eli Drake wants, or no, well, LA Knight. LA Knight shows up when LA Knight wants to. It's on his terms. I'll show up at the Performance Center when I feel like it. And then the very next week, he's like, hey, I'm at the Performance Center.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, how are you?
Yeah,
I'm here now.
He says, I'm the last of a dying breed, which is bullshit, because that's Eddie Kingston there, sir. Gimmick infringement, motherfucker.
It is Eddie Kingston.
He says, I'm not going to be one of these guys that flips around. I'm just going to beat the hell out of you and blah, 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 blah. He gets kind of cut off by Bronson Reed making his entrance.
Yeah.
Knight stays ringside. So we're getting Bronson Reed versus Cameron Grimes.
Yes.
Cameron Grimes has that like rap theme song now as his actual theme song, which just perfection.
Hilarious.
This match goes like 8 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Cameron Grimes gets the win thanks to interference from LA Knight.
Yeah.
Because LA Knight, he throws Cameron Grimes' hat in the ring and then he crotches Bronson Reed.
Right. Poor Bronson Reed, man. He's getting they brought him back, gave him the new name, put the lizard on his jacket, and
the Lizard Man.
they haven't been doing much with him. Like, he's just been having him lose.
Dude, like once they did like that whole stop calling him NXT's thick boy, I was like, yo, this guy's pretty good.
Right, and they're just having him lose.
And then just this shit.
But I guess this will lead to LA Knight and Bronson Reed, which I guess could work. But again, you're going to let Bronson Reed squash this guy you just brought in. Doesn't make any sense.
Like Bronson Reed should be killing guys.
Right. But I am happy they're still protecting the cave-in. So
yeah, because the cave-in is sick.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
I like seeing Cameron Grimes.
The match itself was okay.
Yeah.
It was one of those where it was like, fucking commercial.
There's so much stuff. There's so much stuff on NXT that is just like, sort of building to something else, so the matches don't really matter. Like all these matches are just a way to get to the next.
Feels like some of the matches are just an afterthought,
right?
Which I don't like.
Well,
NXT used to not be that,
right? They're like, we need to get this person in this place and this person in this place, so we can pay off their feud at a takeover. How do we get it there? It's like, we'll just throw these 2 guys in a match, and then we'll throw a third person in there, or we'll do a screw job finish, or we'll do some, like, everything's just a little too convoluted in NXT right now. And I think I think it's going to hurt them. I think a lot. I saw people talking online, like talking about how flat NXT feels right now, and that's a shame.
See, I don't know. Like,
I don't agree with it.
Yeah, I don't agree with it.
But people are feeling that way, and that's going to hurt them because if they continue on this path where the matches are an afterthought and everything is kind of convoluted finishes, or is just every match on NXT TV is to build something else to a pay-per-view, it's a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we see Regal and Adam Pearce arguing in the back. Mm-hmm. We go to Kaden Carter. She says Casey has a partially torn LCL.
Yes.
And that she's calling out Zaya next week.
Yeah.
So that's going to happen.
It's a good thing that the partially torn LCLs aren't contagious.
Ooh, baby. So we're back in therapy.
Part 3.
Scumbag says he was in a small room with windows boarded up, but he watched cartoons and ate cereal.
It was great.
Yeah, he said really it was actually a nice time.
Yeah.
The therapist says, I spoke with Dexter, and Austin can't believe it. And she says, Dexter doesn't like you at all. He's irritated by you. You annoy him, and that's why he sent you home.
Right.
And Scumbag runs out crying because his feelings are hurt. Mm-hmm. And Johnny's like, I'm going to give her a piece of my mind. To which he pays her money. He goes, that was great.
Right.
And then he says, he's handing her money, takes $100 and says, no, that's for the arcade.
Right, arcade money.
Yeah.
And he goes, who wants to go to Dave & Buster's? Or like that. Yeah. Or Chuck E. Cheese. We're going to Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, we're going to Chuck E. Cheese. Right. So overall, dude, I thought like the 3 segments were so funny.
I don't want to admit it, but Johnny's real funny. He's funny. Yeah.
Yeah, it's working.
Yep.
Next match we have scheduled is Breezango, apparently wanting to get a little taste. Mm-hmm. Because they're going up against Everrise.
Speaking of Everrise, did you watch their weekend show this week?
I did not.
Cameron Grimes came on.
Oh, did he?
And threw money at him. I texted you about it. That was this week, right?
So when you texted me about it, I was in the midst of getting my second COVID shot.
Right.
And it was hectic.
Right.
And then I lost the weekend, we'll say that much.
But so because the Anthony, the guy who he with the basketball trick, is the guy who films the Everrise show. So Cameron Grimes was just like throwing money, and I think like he ended up like sponsoring the show. And,
that makes me real happy.
Yep. And so he was there with Everrise, so it's pretty great.
Damn.
And honestly, you should watch that show every week because it's really funny.
I'll have to start.
Those guys are hilarious.
Breezango's on the way to the ring. Legado runs down and beats the fucking shit out of them.
Yeah, Breezango's dressed as astronauts.
Yes, of
so
course.
They're back to we wear different uniforms every week.
Yeah. Everaz is like they're applauding them, but then Legado says, "Nope, we're beating your asses too."
Right.
Santos Escobar runs down and he starts beating him down, and it's just a brutal beat down.
I'll tell you what, Legado de Fantasma, they're going to get a taste now. They better.
Sign me up.
Right.
He says, "Don't mistake last week for weakness, and this is who we are."
Yes.
I love Legado.
Me too.
They kill it.
I really do hope it leads to an Ever-Rise feud.
That'd be so cool, wouldn't it?
It'd be great, yeah.
Regal gets interviewed backstage. He says that because of what happened last in the women's tag match, I'll have an announcement next week that's going to change the landscape of NXT forever. Everything is going to change everything forever.
Yes.
So, main event time.
It's got to be women's tag titles, right?
Maybe. I don't know. Main event time. Finn Balor going up against Roderick Strong.
Yeah.
Roddy not coming out to the Undisputed Era theme.
Ooh.
No more black and yellow. He's his own man. He's the lone wolf, Roddy Strong.
The messiah of the backbreaker.
Yeah, man. Dude, I always liked Roddy.
I've liked Roddy for a long time, absolutely.
So this match goes about 13 and a half minutes. Finn got the win, 19-16.
Yeah.
Roddy was murdering him with backbreakers during the match. Finn was selling like a motherfucker.
Right.
I thought it was really good.
I liked it, yeah.
The finishing,
Definitely.
the finishing stretch was fucking awesome.
I mean, these guys can wrestle. It's what you expect out of them.
Yeah, like when I saw it on paper, I'm like, okay, I know it's gonna it was winning, but damn, like this is gonna be great, and it was.
Right.
And I thought it was really, really good. Adam Cole comes to the stage, and he has to stare down with Finn, and they just pose at each other.
Yeah.
And then NXT goes off the air.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, well, check out this exclusive, what happened when it went off the air."
It was just a pull apart.
It just like Adam Cole,
barely.
it was like, okay, he went
You
out of the
suck.
ring.
No, you suck. No, you
Yeah,
suck.
it was-
No, you suck.
It was weird.
Yeah.
But
was a good
yeah,
match,
like
though.
I thought the match
It's-
was a ton of fun.
It stayed on the trend of like it's just a match that's there to lead into the next thing. Like that's sort of what this whole show
but
was.
it's still part of the story because like
Right.
Roddy's got to get revenge on somebody at this point.
and Roddy needs to find his place in the overall landscape of NXT.
Yeah. So yeah, I really enjoyed it though.
Right.
So that was the end of NXT.
That's it, pal.
So I'm going to ask you the questions,
All right.
and then we got to preview a pay per
Yeah.
view.
It's a long show. We got a lot to talk about yet.
That's all right.
All right.
So
Well, I'll go real quick. You ready? AEW is Shaq. NXT is the. I'm giving it to the women's tag match. I liked it just fine. Match of the night is Shaq, and show of the night is Shaq.
okay.
That's what it is.
All right.
I think honestly that it was AEW was a one match card, and I know I said I was distracted, and
You were distracted.
I was distracted. I'll admit that, but man, that Shaq thing really surprised me. So for that alone, that's why that gets the pick because AEW was definitely one of the weirder shows and booked kind of backwards, and the last hour didn't matter. But man, that Shaq thing was so surprisingly good that it just rides high enough for me for that to be the old pick-a-rooney,
Okay.
if you will.
So I am going to go AEW Shaq.
Okay.
NXT, I'm going to go Finn Roddy. Match overall, I'm going Shaq.
Okay.
Because that was fun.
Right.
And I'm going NXT.
Ooh.
Because
you son of a bitch.
that AEW show fell off a fucking cliff.
Yeah, hard.
For me.
Yep.
It was just like the last hour or whatever was just like, what the fuck are we doing here, guys? Like last 45 minutes. Just, I don't know. It came to a screeching halt and was a real big letdown. Where NXT, like, nothing was bad.
Right.
You know, the women's tag match was good. The main event was good. I still like the story going on with Finn and UE and where all that's all going.
Yeah.
The Gargano therapy stuff was fucking hilarious. LA Knight sucks, but whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to go NXT.
All right. Well, pal. Let's see. That puts us overall, because I'm done with the season 2 total stuff. I'm at 36 for AEW and 36 for NXT.
Look at you, right down the middle.
Right down the middle. And you are at 33 for AEW and 39 for NXT.
Okay.
And I get it, man. I get technically that NXT show was better, but that Shaq thing was just executed so
it's
much
your
fun.
opinion, dude. You're allowed to have it.
It was a lot. It was real good. I really liked it. So that's enough. Ratings wise, AEW pulled a 934.
Yeah.
So that's the old Shaq bump right there.
They got the Shaq.
I mean,
Diesel
they did a
bump.
977 for the Brody tribute and a 995 in December. So they've been up here before, but that's a pretty good number. And NXT pulled a miserable 692. So AEW's up 100,000, NXT's down 50,000 or so. But that's NXT's sort of right around that 700, give or take, is right around where they sit. But AEW got a pretty big bump from Shaq.
Yeah.
I would love to know how they calculate these numbers. Do they pick the highest of the high that they were at? Because there's no way. I completely believe them pulling 934 or more for Shaq. But by the end of the show, those numbers ain't sticking around.
And I know they break it down by segments and whatever. What was the high?
Right.
I don't know how it all works, but
Right.
I just know that they do all that shit.
Right.
So,
But either way,
Yeah.
AEW wins. I mean, the Shaq thing, that's pretty huge.
yeah.
So
We have a pay-per-view
What we got, pal? We
on
have a pay-per-view.
Sunday.
Sunday.
It was just going to be AEW's first Sunday pay-per-view. They usually run on Saturdays, but
Yes.
there's a fucking ginormous UFC pay-per-view on Saturday. 3 title fights.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
listen, you ain't competing with that. Sorry.
No. So we got AEW
Revolution.
no matter what not the big show tells you.
the not big show.
Yeah.
So, we have on the pre-show
Mm-hmm.
Riho and Thunder Rosa against Britt Baker and Reba.
Why?
I don't know.
This is a thing?
That's what Wikipedia says.
Okay. Britt and Reba. That's why. I don't understand. I mean, I guess I understand, but I don't actually understand. It's pre-show. Who said it's pre-show?
Yeah, who'd you take?
Man, I mean, I guess I'm going to take Britt and Reba, I guess.
Okay. I'm going to say Riho Thunder Rosa.
Okay.
There's no rhyme or reason, but okay.
I mean, it's just going to be the match to push their feud when they could have done that in a tournament, but instead they're going to do it at a pre-show match. That's really dumb to me, but all right, whatever. No problems.
Casino Tag Team Royale for a future AEW World Tag Team title shot. I'm not going to go through everybody.
No.
Because there's a lot of fucking teams.
Yeah.
I don't know who's going to win it, dude.
Death Triangle.
Okay, you're going to go Death Triangle?
Death Triangle.
All right. For fun, Jesus Christ, I have no idea. I'll go Kazarian and Daniels, I guess.
Wow, okay.
I don't know.
I like it. Fast track there, never wrestling as a tag team again.
Exactly. Like let's get it out of the way. We
Right.
have Miro and Kip Sabian
Oh, Jesus.
going up against OC and Chucky T.
Are you sure we have to watch this weekend?
Well, I don't know, but
Okay.
yeah.
I mean, Chuck and OC.
So, yeah, same.
Yeah.
God, I hope.
God,
Please, I
oh,
fucking
Jesus
hope.
Christ. Then take Miro off TV, have him flip out on Kip, beat him up, disappear from TV for like 2 months, and then come back as just a shit kicker. Don't let him talk. Give him a fucking manager or something. I don't know. But no more of this bullshit.
Yeah.
Stop letting him talk, too. He's real bad at it. Anyway.
Next, we have Face of the Revolution ladder match for a future AEW TNT title match.
Okay.
Cody Rhodes, Scorpio Sky, Penta, Lance Archer.
Oh, Penta's in it?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Lance Archer, Max Caster, and TBA.
Yeah. I'm going to say TBA wins it.
Okay.
It's
I'll go with...
Magnum TBA. That's my...
I hope. I'll go with... Oh, God. I fucking no. TBA. Because I'm trying to...
You're going TBA also?
Yeah,
Okay.
because usually TBAs win.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Did they do that with Matt Sydal, or they tried, right? And then he slipped, and they were called it like, no, let's not do this.
Well, they did with Brian Cage.
Yeah, so right, yeah, TBAs.
Yeah, we'll go with the TBA.
All right. If not, I think it'd be cool to see Max Caster just to surprise everybody.
Yeah,
But
that'd be
Penta be a good shot. Penta Darby.
fucking great. The big money match where the winner receives the loser's 2021 first quarter earnings.
What does this mean?
Okay. Adam Page, Matt Hardy.
Oh man, I don't think they're gonna do this, but I hope Hangman wins.
I'll go Hangman. Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna do it though, because usually in gimmicks like this, the heel wins it, so that the babyface can fight his way back up and get his triumph. Yeah. But whatever.
Singles match for the AEW Women's World Title. Hikaru Shida defending against Ryo Mizunami.
Man, I don't think they'll do this, but I would love to see it. I'm gonna pick Mizunami.
Okay.
Shake it up. You gotta
do something.
AEW has a really hard time with shaking things up.
Tournament winners should prevail in the end.
She just got the long run. She's very good. She organized this whole thing. Let's give it to Mizunami. Let's keep her over here and let her kick some ass for a little bit.
With all that said, I'm gonna go Shida.
Yeah, I mean you're probably right.
Like it's just whatever.
Yeah.
Next match, street fight.
Okay.
Team Taz versus Darby and the Stinger Man.
Yo, there's a lot of matches for a pay-per-view.
Yeah, dude, and it starts at 8:00 and it's supposed to run to like midnight.
And on a Sunday.
Yeah.
And we're gonna record after.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay. Who's in the street fight?
Team Taz.
Team Taz.
Cage and Starks.
Yeah. Stinger and Darby.
Yeah.
Stinger and Darby.
Yeah, of course.
You know, Sting doesn't make his return match and lose.
They said this is his first match since 2015.
Yeah.
That was the Rollins bullshit.
What an asshole.
Next match, the tag titles are on the line.
What the fuck? Really?
The Young Bucks.
Oh my god.
Against Jericho and MJF.
Why do they think this is a good idea?
There's like 9 matches total.
That's crazy.
Including with the pre-show match.
That's nuts. Yeah. That's too much. You know, the WWE stuff's been in and out in like 2 hours, 2.5. That's the only good thing they're doing.
Well, and we talked about this on the last pay-per-view they did.
Yeah.
We said, like, listen, like, I think that they try to stuff quantity over quality because they know that, hey, you're paying a lot of money for this.
They want to give you your money's worth.
They want to give you your money's worth.
Yeah. But it's bad. It's fatigue.
On a Sunday night,
I'm going to be exhausted by the end of this card.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long one.
Yeah.
With that said, I'll go Bucks retain.
Bucks retain. Because like they haven't paid off any of the fucking Good Brother stuff.
No, they haven't. Who, dude? I don't know.
It's a disaster. A lot of the like upper mid card of this company is a goddamn disaster.
It's weird.
All right, I'm assuming that the death match is next.
Yeah, final exploding barbed wire death match for the AEW World Title. Omega and Moxley.
Fuck, man, it's Mox's kind of match. But I think Mox might have some other obligations he wants to go and fulfill. Omega in his healiness and his TNA crossover and all that shit. Omega retains. There's going to be chicanery. There's going to be some issues, even though it's Mox kind of match. I think he's going to be off TV for a bit, having that kid soon. He's got a Japanese belt that they decided to let him retain.
Yeah. Oh, my God, dude. That felt like that was weeks ago.
I know.
Did you watch that match?
No.
It was really good.
I'm sure it was.
It was really good.
It was weeks ago, wasn't it?
No. It was just like this past Friday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Shit.
With the week I've had, it feels like weeks ago.
Yeah. I had today, sidebar, just to make this episode even longer, it's going to be weird out of context, but like, somebody showed me something they designed and wanted my opinion on it, and the person was given the assignment on Monday, and I was like, that's real good. I can't believe you designed something that good in a day. And then I was like, oh shit, it's Thursday. I thought it was Tuesday, and I was feeling real bad about myself. And I'm like, I can't design something that good that quick. And then I was like, oh, you had 4 days? All right, I could do that. We're good. So, yeah, I have no concept of time.
No,
but
we're still in a pandemic. Time doesn't exist.
Are you going Omega?
Yeah.
All right, Omega.
I'm going Omega.
And, all right, we got some difference makers here. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
we'll see what happens. This is too much wrestling. I'll tell you that already right now. Too much. Too much wrestling.
It's a lot of fucking wrestling, dude.
Right. Like this
on
is
a Sunday night.
Like part of me wants to be like, hey, you want to record Monday night about the pay-per-view? We'll see. We'll see where it actually ends.
Well,
neither of us sleep, so
no. We'll see where
All right. Well.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it. I'm gonna get in the plugs real quick. You ready? Let's get the hell out of here. You got anything else you want to talk about?
Not
you good?
that
You
I
sure?
know
You
of.
positive? You're done?
Yeah.
All right. Wednesday War Pod on Twitter and Facebook. Wednesday Night War Podcast on Instagram. Wednesday Night War Pod at Gmail if you want to email the show. We're on the Soon to Be Named Network at STBN Network on Twitter. Soon to Be Named Network.com. Soon to Be Named Network.tumblr.com. You can find all our episodes that are posted anywhere we guest. They'll be posted there as well, along with every other show from the Soon to Be Named Network. We're talking Longbox Heroes After Dark, At Odds with Wrestling, Puzzle Warriors 3, Profane Argument, Final Wrestling Place, and Porch Talk when that returns. It's still a little too cold. We are also on PW Ponderings, pwponderings.com, at PW Ponderings on Twitter. Check those guys out. We put the show up on our website, WednesdayNightWarPodcast.com, like 1, 2 a.m. Fridays. They'll put it up a day or two afterwards, but they have some other good shows, and they're a good source for independent wrestling and otherwise, so we're glad to be on there as well. Friends of the show, The A Show, at The A Show on CKCC. They do wrestling show, they draft and all that stuff. You can go listen to those guys. Pod the Dreaded Sundown, at Pod Sundown. Their horror movie podcast. Our friends Chuck and Bill, not Billy and Chuck, unfortunately. Nor are they Chuck and Billy. Their horror movie podcast, they're good guys. They're covering a lot of fun stuff this month. I think Tales from the Hood was this week or is coming out this week.
So.
And Cinema Vertigogo, at Cinema Vertigogo. Our friends Ron and Sam and James, not our friend Robbie. They cover 2 movies a week also. They're good people. So give them a listen. And Tim and Marcus from Final Wrestling Place have Viewer's Choice where they review pay-per-views. So they'll have an AEW review show. We should fight them because
we should fight them. You just said we should fight them.
We're like, well, I don't know. Well, I guess...
I don't have the energy to fight anybody.
Nah, that's true. Boar's like a little bigger than me, but I'm a little wider than him.
I don't know who that is. I know Marcus is on the show. I don't know who you're talking about.
Well, whatever. I'm pretty sure they've dropped that kayfabe, but whatever. But yeah, they're at VC on North South on Twitter. I think we could take them. The Boar is like the Iron Man of Tony Stark. Tony Stark is an Iron Man, but he hires Iron Man to handle his shit.
Okay.
That's how that works. I'll make that way. Personal wise, you want to reach out to me, I'm at the Dooge, THEDOOGE. I don't know, we can talk about stuff on there. I have no idea. I haven't been talking about much. I don't think I'm that active on Twitter. I just kind of cruise and watch what other people are doing and like a lot of stuff and retweet some things.
Good for you.
But you can reach out to me. Well, I'll give you a hey, what's up?
You're a Twitter cruiser now.
Is that a thing?
I have no fucking idea.
All right. Well, slide into my DMs and tell me if that's a thing. Where can they find you, pal?
At BreadXEdge 570. I've been a little life heavy this week, so haven't been really too active. But fuck the Utah Jazz, and Joel Embiid is a god.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Oh,
those fucking crybabies.
Okay.
Oh, we're a small market team. Nobody wants to see us win. Shut the fuck up. That's because you lost to the MVP. Mm-hmm. That's my man's.
Okay.
This weekend, though, if you want to watch some wrestling that's not AEW Revolution, go to independentwrestling.tv, Jerry's Internet Wrestling Emporium. We mentioned before, use the promo code Mortis. It'll get you 5 days free. And you can watch the much maligned Haas tournament Friday and Saturday. The Saturday show has the finals of, well, it's not the finals, but it's the payoff from the IWTV World Independent Wrestling Championship. Warhorse versus Genkai, who won the Masked Wrestler.
Oh, that's the thing that's still. Did they
that's
ever
on
reveal
Saturday.
who Genkai was?
No, because Genkai won the tournament. Now got the IWTV title shot.
Oh,
so that's going to be on Saturday, 7:30 Central Time.
Okay.
So if you want to watch that or any other shit on the award-winning independentwrestling.tv,
award-winning,
tune the fuck in.
All right. That's it?
That's it.
All right, well, do your thing. Let's get the hell out of here, pal.
You want to wrap this shit up?
I want to wrap this shit up. I want to edit this shit. I want to put it up.
Yeah,
and I want to go to bed.
It's 1 a.m. and I forgot that I said I'd work at 7 a.m. Whoopsies.
What a dummy.
Yep, whatever. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Pro Wrestling. Let's go.
You're listening to the soon-to-be-named network, the Lamborghini of podcast networks.
Knock it off, nerds!